And so you're whenever you said like today you went to or yesterday or today you went to do the training, like what is that like? So you go there, is there a time you have to be there on a race day? So today's a race day.
Yeah, today's a race day. Well, typically even in a race day we Monday through 7 days, Monday through Sunday we train horses.
Okay.
You know, and those horses that we train in we usually get to run them like, you know, a week from now, like or 15 days from now. So we're constantly working these horses, and then like they're not necessarily gonna run on the weekend, you know, but they might run like the weekend after, you know. So
I see. So horses that are going to be like, say, if I'm going to go to the
Future,
racetrack,
yeah.
like maybe in a week or two, the horses I'm going to see then, you guys are kind of training them, getting them used to the track.
No, getting ready. No, just like a normal athlete, you know, getting the physical training into it. You know, the lung capacity, so they're able to push harder in the stretch and things like that. It's like it's.
Oh wow!
They're athletes, yeah.
You guys get them out there like athletes. And what time do you guys do that kind of each day?
That's early in the morning. The racetrack open around like I think 4:30, you know, and then it closes at like 10 o'clock. I usually get there at 6:30, you know. That's when I start, and usually by 9:45 I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, dude, you're on the horse and it's going fast, huh?
Yeah.
Is it scary or no?
No, it's not scary for me anymore. You know, it was a little bit scary when I started, when I was young. But now it's like, you know, like any other racing athlete, I guess. You know, like you just get used to. You love for that. Like, I love what I do, so I'm like, I live for that. You know, it's like the adrenaline, is the excitement, is I like all of that.
Who's the athlete? Are you the athlete, or the horse is the athlete, or you're both the athlete?
We're both, you know, like it's almost like it's not almost like it's a team, you know, like he isn't the athlete, you know, he actually does most of the work, you know, the hard work, you know.
Yeah.
We are athletes too, because we need to constantly be fit enough to ride these horses, like have our weight, you know, checked, you know,
Mm-hmm.
checked, you know, there's a certain way that we can pass, you know, so that's what, like physically we have to be super fit, because these are like 1,000-pound animals that we need to control, and we need to, you know, like be able to manage in high speed.
When you so like on a race day, what will your day be like on that day?
It's usually
so like later today when you go in for the race, like what is it like when you get there? Like how do you go through? Like what is kind of the typical? Yeah.
Well, for me it's like, you know, like I wake up, like I said, I go to morning and then that usually finish at like I said 10 o'clock. You're done, you know.
Okay. And when you're training these horses, like what are you doing? You're like just almost acting at a race almost.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's just like we simulate a little race by themselves, you know. It's just like, you know, each horse, you know, it's not like we're working a tango horse at the same time, not like a race, but like, for example, I'll work my horse 5 furlongs, you know. That means that I had to make 5 furlongs in a certain amount of time, like 101. The trainer will tell you how fast you want him. He wants you to train the horse. Okay. You know, so if he tells you, hey, I want you to work 5 furlongs and 101, so you do your best to pass those 5 furlongs in 1 minute and 1 second. So
you're out there just kind of setting goals, almost like a like somebody on a track team would be doing.
But that's exactly that, you know. Okay. And that gives like the horse fitness and the lung capacity for like.
And do they like it? Do the horses like being racers, you think?
Thoroughbreds do. Thoroughbreds do. Yeah, thoroughbreds do. It's like any normal, any living creature, you know. There's some horses that don't, you know. There's some horses that, like, you know, that no matter how much you ask them, they're just not born to do that, you know. But they're like,
like Antonio Brown, kind of a little.
And there's some horses that they do really love, you know. They're like, so maybe like I can't explain that because it's a feeling, you know. Sometimes I'm on top of them and I do the bare minimum, and I just encourage them to go a little faster, and they are waiting for that to
they
take
want
off.
it.
Yeah, they want it. Yeah.
So it's interesting. So some of them, can you tell sometimes how excited they are about it and how much they like it?
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. Well, I feel lucky because I feel that I can tell that, you know, because I grew up with horses since my early age. So.
And so what was that like? So I'm trying to think of what else I would think about, like being out there. And then so then you get there for the race day. Now on the race day, on the race, you guys show up, and what happens? Like, do you have to be drug tested? Does the horse have to be drug tested?
Yeah, horses get drug tested. We do get drug drug tests too, but that's like it's como like a lottery. The officials go there and like they will just pick randomly. Whoever you're gonna get test or whatever they want. You want to get tests, and then you had to go and get tests.
Do some people use? Or is there any like performance enhancing drugs for the riders? Is anybody out there like some guys can be high and do it or do whatever?
No. We are like treated like as any other athlete, and this like there is not the if we are in a Percocet or something like that, we need to have a prescription. If you don't, if all of a sudden you get tests and then you pop for a pill like like an Orgo or something like that, then you get suspended or fined.
Damn, really?
Oh, yeah.
So everybody got to really keep it together, the horse and the people, huh?
Yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of jockeys have prescriptions.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Let me show you mine.
When you, so what is the fitness of it like for you?
Fitness, for us, because we have to be more lean and stronger. Well, as strong as like a 120-pounder can get, so
right. Because I'm from Louisiana originally. They have a lot of guys from Louisiana that are jockeys.
Yeah. There's a lot of Louisiana jockeys.
We have like Alvarado, like there's a couple of names you would hear, Melanson, like a lot of names you would hear a lot.
Candace Ormo, I think he's a Hall of Famer in horse racing industry. He's from there, I think. Yeah.
Is he? What's his name?
Candace Ormo.
What's the last name? The letter that starts with
D.
Dormond, Dormond.
No, D-E.
D-E.
DeLong.
I'm saying
DeLong?
no. Ken with K. My English is horrible, so it's my second language. So like, don't.
Mine's bad. It's my first language.
That one, the first one.
Oh,
that's a hard name for English people.
Yeah, Ken DeSormo. Where's he out of Louisiana? A lot of guys, they got those little swamp babies, man. A lot of French little swamp babies. They pull them up from Maurice, Louisiana. Yeah, that is a real swamp town right there. And so it's popular in that area. Are you Mexican or which?
Mexican.
Both your parents are Mexican?
Yeah, both my parents.
So, is there a lot of Mexican jockeys as well?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of jockeys. A lot of Latino jockeys. A lot of Panamanians, Puerto Ricans. Yeah.
So yeah, it's because it's interesting that a lot of those guys are from Louisiana, and then a lot of them are from Mexico. Why? Because it's smaller stature.
I think so, but there's really jockeys all over the place. We have like Italian jockeys here right now. We have French jockeys. I think it's like whoever is small enough to be a jockey.
So it's more about a size thing. Not really. It doesn't matter kind of where people are from.
Yeah.
What was your journey into jockeying? Like, how did it kind of start out for you? Because it's such a unique. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. This guy Walker Bueller. He plays for the Dodgers actually, and he was on here a while back. And he and I went to dinner the other night, and he's telling me about he had a brother-in-law who was a jockey, and Robbie Alvarado is the guy's name. And Robbie. So he went. I was like, maybe we should get a jockey to come on the podcast and talk. And then you and Nick spoke, and so yeah, man, it's just fascinating to think of what that life is like and what it and who even does it. Like, so take me again a little bit more, like your fitness and your size and your weight. What do you have to stay at?
I probably I had to stay like under like 117, 118, 117. That in case that I have to reduce. I don't have to reduce too much, like if I have to ride horses with like 118, I only had to pull up 2 pounds the day of the race, something like that, that I try to manage that like really well.
Do they weigh you before the race?
Before each race, they weigh you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you're over, can the trainer or the owner say, we're going to get someone else?
I think we're only allowed to be, you have to, if I think I'm not going to make that weight, I had to report it like an hour earlier.
Okay.
Before the first race. So if I already know that, hey, I can make that weight, I'm going to be 1 pound over, I have to. If I don't do that, then yeah, we get penalized. Or I think, the trainer is allowed to say, well, I need to replace my jockey.
So on the race day, that's usually the same jockeys, like on a scheduled day of races at like, say at like Santa Anita, right? Mm-hmm. Santa Ana, what is it?
Santa Anita.
Santa Anita, right? Yeah. So on a scheduled day of races, there may be like 10 races or something for the day?
Yeah, today are 11.
Wow, so you're going to race 11 times?
No, I only ride 4 races. 4 races.
And is it every other race? How do they put you guys in there?
It depends. It's very complicated, right? Because like that is in the racing office, they decide what race goes first, what race goes second. So it's like depends if you know, depends where I land. You know, I can ride the first four, but that not necessarily like, or I can run the first, the third, the sixth, the seventh.
So do you ride for a specific trainer? Do you ride on a specific horse? Like, who does the jockey work for?
I'm very lucky that I ride for a specific owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ride only on his horses?
I ride all of his horses. I ride.
Okay.
All of them, and that has been since 2012. I'm
wow.
very lucky. So I'm a very very sweet position that way. So I'm not specifically for the same trainer, for the owner. You know. So that's good for me. So,
yeah.
He has.
So
a lot
you
of
have more
horses.
like that. That means you just have like more of a long term, or you just have work. What's it called, Nick? Work if you have the same job at a long time.
Tenure?
Yeah, you just have like some assurance. You're more assured. Like, do you have a contract, kind of?
It's not like a real contract. It's more like a spoken contract. You know, like a French. Like he's been so loyal to me, and I've been loyal to him. So like it's just like a
Partnership
that is going to continue. We had early success in 2012. I think that's what
Security.
sparked it. Yeah. So,
yeah, some job security.
Yeah.
So when you get on the horse, you're on the horse and you take the horse out to the what?
To the racetrack.
To like the voting booth, you know what I'm talking about? Like
the paddock. That we call it the paddock.
Oh,
where
the
like,
paddock is the circle,
the,
right?
The little circle where like, you know, the horses run. Before we get in top of the horses, they like, you know, there's like the people can look at them, you know. If you're gonna bet, you're like
the gamblers. I go look. That's when I go.
You're gonna look and see which horse you like, and you can bet.
Yeah, look at them.
Then the trainers put us on the horse, and then we go to the racetrack and do the pre-warm up before the race.
Okay, so if I'm a bettor, right? Which Nick is, but if I'm a bettor and I go to the paddock, is there anything I can look for as a bettor that can give me any sort of insight as to how
the only thing that I can give you a tip, sort of, you know, try to look for horses that are not too nervous or sweaty, you know, because they usually are like they're not gonna perform well. Like most of those horses are like, you know, they're too nervous and so sweaty. They already spending a lot of energy, you know, being like so.
Sweaty horse, dude.
Yeah.
That's my
And
old nickname
besides
in
that,
college.
I'm horrible. My wife told me like never to give her any tips about horse racing because she always loses.
No, does she like to bet or no?
She does. Once in a while, I'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm training this horse that I really, really like. You know, you should put some money on him. You know." And then the horse will run third or fourth, and then she'll be like, "I don't want no more of your tips."
So you get out there, you go out for the warm up, and the warm up is what? It's just kind of like a little trot, or it's like
truck or gallop. You know, try to like get the flow going on the horses. You know, and then try to warm up everything. You know, before like because now when it's time to race, you're gonna ask them to do their best. You know. So.
Yeah. And can a horse stretch? Can you tell a horse to stretch, or they just stretch if they want to?
You can stretch the horses. You can you can do. They have chiropractors. They have massage therapists. The horses.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, what kind of pervert would stand there and just massage a horse leg all day?
I don't know.
I mean,
you had to ask one of those guys to do that.
Well, that's who we need to get in here. Can you imagine just standing there all day and try not to get an erection? That would be the hardest thing. I feel like, even if you were straight male and you and the horse is straight, I think it would just be so hard not to. How strong are these animals?
They can be pretty strong. There are horses that can be like so nice, you know, in terms to like you can like pretty much do anything with them. Like they obey, you know, like you can one hand you can maneuver, you know, and there are some horses that are like you two hands, all you can pull, and they're still like no listening to you. So it's tricky, you know. It's
Just like people, I guess, huh?
Yeah, they are like people. So smart.
Do they feel like, do horses seem like people? Like the more time you've spent around horses, do they seem like people? Do they seem like, is there another animal that you kind of relate them to? Do you feel like you actually can have like a connection with the horse? What is it like? Because I've always been a little bit probably afraid of horses, I guess. Because we never went around any horses growing up, you know, like we would see some, but and like feed them apples and stuff through the fence, but I never like spent time around them, you know.
Oh, horses are so super smart. I think that's, yeah, like the more time you spend with a horse, you know, the more you get to know them, and the more you establish a connection. And then like once you establish a connection, it's like having a dog, you know. You love that animal. Like, it's just like it's a strong bond that you have with this horse, you know. So yeah, like time. The more time you spend with the horses, it's like it's hard not to love.
Really?
Not to fall in love with them, yeah.
Just like a dog.
Just like a dog, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And they're very therapeutic because you can, like, my wife has a pony that we can use it to trail ride, you know. And then, like, if you're having a bad day, you know, or when I'm having a bad day, or like I have too much thinking on my head, I saddle him, I take him to the trails in the mountains in Altadena, and it's just so therapeutic. It's just like so cool and relaxing. You know.
I should live on one of those. That's what I need. I should be tied around one of those. I need some therapy. I need some therapy, man. So you get out there, you back to the race. You get in the cage, right? Or actually,
the gate.
We had a question that came in right here from a user for you right here. Not a user. Look, I'm not judging the guy. He does look like maybe he's been up late. Yeah, he looks like maybe he's been up a little late, but it also looks like John Cusack's brother.
What's up, Mario? Quick question. Are there jockey groupies? Like chicks that travel around, so when you win the Kentucky Derby, you're golden for a couple weeks?
Yeah, what's that like? Are they kind of like, did you meet your wife through the races?
What's up?
I did. Yes, I think I met my wife because my father-in-law at the time when I went to Canada, I met my wife in Canada.
Oh, she's Canadian?
Yeah, she's Canadian.
Oh, Canadians are awesome, huh?
Yeah. So her dad used to own some horses, and that's how I met her family first, and she was studying in Victoria, Canada. So I didn't meet her until like 2 years after that, after I was in Canada.
Oh, so the family already liked you.
Oh yeah, they loved me.
They
still love me. They love me more than they do.
Then they let you ride their horse.
But yeah, I think to the question, yeah, I think that in any sports, I think that any sport has like
some groupies.
I think so.
Yeah, that's cool, man. What type of who are the owners these days? Like a lot of times when I think of horse owners, I think of like a rich old white guy kind of. Is that still kind of and no judgment against it, but is that still like the type of person that owns horses? Do you or is there all types? Yeah, I think of this guy, whoever this guy is, and we don't know who this guy is, but that's who we think of. Does this look like every owner kind of, or is it all types of people?
It's all type of they basically, whoever owns a horse, they have money. Right. They have a lot of money.
Okay, so it's someone that has expendable income, they can get a horse.
Yes, so I don't think necessarily has to be white, but it needs to have some cash.
So they need to have some cash.
Yeah.
Do they ever have groups out there where you feel like it's a setup, like they have like a shady owner, or it seems like a little weird, like maybe they're just trying to drug a horse and get it through? Does that ever happen, or did it used to happen? Do you ever notice anything like that?
Well, I don't know specifically no, you know, say that again, you know, because a group or
I guess, do you ever see is there ever a owner trainer kind of a team
a team that try to do shady shit?
Yeah, often. And it's just and maybe you've seen them over the years and they've come and gone or whatever, but is there a lot of that going on, or is stuff pretty is it?
Maybe back in the days will happen a lot, and not in racetracks like Santa Anita. That will be considered Santa Anita will be considered one of the top racetracks. Santa Anita, right. New York, Kentucky, you know,
prestigious,
and prestigious, you know, like an elite or like an A racetrack,
right,
A racetrack, and then you have B racetracks, C racetracks, you know, and that probably probably will occur more into like small racetrack where there is not a lot of restriction or not a lot of people watching. But, like I wouldn't be surprised if those type of things happen there.
Oh, it gets a little more seedier the way. The further you go down.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
wow.
like for example like UFC. I watch a lot of fights. Like say UFC now with USADA and everything is like cracking down and things like that. Huh? But the more you go to the lesser organization, well, maybe they're not as tight. So.
Oh, the urine, you could drink it, I feel like, off of half these guys. You know what I'm saying? I'd have had a glass of whatever Anderson Silva had into my thing. I mean, they just had, it's definitely a lot cleaner these days.
Yeah.
Who are some of the fighters you like?
Oh, I like a bunch.
You do?
I like Nate, the Nick
that
Diaz brothers.
Nate was
Those are
crazy,
hard
huh?
not to love, yeah.
I wish Nick fought more, man.
I know. I don't know what's up with him. I wish too. I get it.
I just don't want him to get older and then wish he had fought more when he was
right?
younger, you know?
But you never know with those guys, right? They really seem so genuine, that like the way I look at him, I don't think that will occur to him,
Yeah, that's a good point.
He
probably
lives
just,
like, he does what he wants. It seems like, so.
I think they definitely do what they want,
Yeah.
no doubt. Yeah, did you see that fight the other night with Edwards?
Yeah.
That was good, huh?
Yeah.
I
I
was
was like, come
hoping at the
on,
end.
go for the kill.
And he's just pointing at
And
him.
he's pointing at him, and I'm like, my wife is yelling, I'm yelling, my son is looking at us like, what the heck is going on with you guys? You know? And I'm yelling,
and you
go
don't even
for
have
it.
a son, so it was like way insane. Yeah, that was magical, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about the? Did you see the last Poirier McGregor fight?
Yeah, so I was surprised. I was surprised that how fairly easy Poirier beat McGregor.
Yeah,
I think McGregor beats him this time.
You think so?
I think so.
I feel like it's. I mean, I definitely don't think that, but I think it's hard to come. I just think it's hard to like get that mentality,
Oh, but unless he doesn't have that anymore, I will blame the first fight until like he's like long time hasn't fight, and then like
well, that's a good point.
That's what I think, but I will relate it again to horses. There is some horses that the very good horses that are undefeated, like they can win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races in a row, and the moment they touch the feet, the moment some other horse pass them, they never the same.
Really?
Yeah. So that thing happens to fighters too. The more they feel this thing, and all of a sudden the 2, 3 losses, and like mess up with their head too.
Happens to comedians too, man. Happened to me, I think. But no, that's so interesting. So there can be like a moment that happened in a race, like in a big race, where another horse passes it, and it's never the same.
Yeah. Yeah, for horses, that happened. It happened to me. It happened to a very good horse that I was
really.
riding, yeah.
Which one was it? What was it?
Nyquist, 2016 Kentucky Derby winner.
Right, and so so take me back to like, I mean, you had just started racing, right? You'd been racing you had just been racing in California for a year?
Not even a year.
After you won?
No. I mean, my first Kentucky, I was lucky enough to get my first Kentucky Derby back in 2012. And then I was racing in Canada.
Okay.
On 2011, the racing season finished in September, October. So usually I will come down to San Francisco and ride in San Francisco in the winter. And then, but for whatever reason, they didn't want to give stalls to my Canadian stable that I was with at the time.
Okay.
So they reached out to Santa Anita, and Santa Anita was like, "Yeah, we'll give you some stables so you can run here your horses." So that's how I ended up in LA, in Santa Anita in late 2011.
So that was your first time getting to Los Angeles?
To lunch, so yeah. And
Wow.
then that was like, October, November, December, January, and in 4 months, then I got introduced to I'll have another, which went and won the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. You won twice, right?
He won the Kentucky, and then he won the Preakness. Yeah.
But you won.
I won 2012, and then 2016.
So is there like a rookie year for riders?
Yeah, apprentice. We are called apprentice when we are our first year. When we get the license to be a professional rider, then our first year we call apprentice, and then with that we are allowed to race 10 pounds lighter than the professional jockey.
So if a professional jockey is what, 118?
118, then you're allowed to run your horse with 108.
You could ride on 108?
Yeah.
How do you?
I can't no anymore. I used to.
You
Yeah.
can't even chew gum. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like.
yeah. No, I can't anymore. I used to when I was 18 years old. Yeah.
Oh, so what phases a jockey out of the job?
Well, I think that's like fighters, like your body will tell you, or an unfortunate accident that can end your career at any moment.
Does that happen sometime at any
Yeah,
moment?
no, yeah, no, yeah.
A little M Night Shyamalan there,
Yeah.
brother. Does it happen? Does that happen? Sorry, I have so many questions right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So, does that? Yeah, take me through some of the dangers. What is some of that danger like? If you have is it like a? How can you get hurt? How can you get? I mean, I know you can get thrown off of the horse. That's probably the biggest fear.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest fear. The biggest fear for me is probably like getting thrown off of a horse if I'm like in the front runners, because then you have for sure you have people coming behind you, and like I said, these are like 1,200-pound animals, and
Some
then
bad drivers too.
Yeah, you don't want none of them to catch you mid-air or like on the floor. So that's probably
so that's almost one of the scary parts, I bet, about taking the lead, is that it's somewhere in your head. You're like, now if something bad happens, all these horses are going to come up behind.
Yeah,
me.
but you don't think? I think like the moment that you had those thoughts, that's probably a good time to retire.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. If you're like going in the front and you're thinking about, oh my God, like
I better pull back.
Yeah. No, you should be focusing on how to win the race. Yeah, I think the moment you start having those type of thoughts, I think you should call it quits.
That would be me. I'd be like, you guys go on ahead. Okay, so you get into the paddock. You get into the gate, right? Is that what
After
it's
the
called?
warm up? Yeah, the gate that we're
So after the warm up, you guys, because I'm always wondering whenever I'm there betting or whatever, I'm like, Jesus, what are
It takes
they
forever.
doing out here? Yeah, they got one guy, and then the guy in the pink hat comes out. I'm like, why is the guy wearing pink? I don't even know what's going on. I feel like it's a gender reveal. But then finally, they get everybody lined up.
Yeah.
Is it easier to be the first horse that gets lined up in there, or the last horse, or does it even matter?
Yeah, I think it does matter. I particularly would like to loan last, but you don't always. Well, we don't choose that. It's like whoever number you have is by number. So whoever is like if you have the 7, 8, 9, 10, you're probably gonna be put on the gate last.
Right.
So I prefer that, because then my horse doesn't have too much time to think inside the gate. It's just basically go, ready, go.
Yeah.
So.
And so once your horse is in the gate, what are you doing in there? Like, I see you brought is this a saddle?
Yes, a saddle. Yeah, that's what we use to ride them.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Dang, dude. This is the lingerie of saddles, huh? My God.
Japanese saddle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Japan.
Yeah, shout out to Japan, dude. Very ironic that they have a driving instrument that they have put together. No shade, but that's wild. So how does this even?
I know, right?
I think I'd just rather wear thick underpants. I feel like this is so small.
Yeah.
So this goes towards the front of the horse,
Mm-hmm.
and you and what is this? What is it? These are
Those
for your
are stirrups, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And this is yours, MG, right here.
Yeah, MG, yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. So, and this is a pretty commonplace saddle.
Yeah, that would probably unless you go there is a little bit bigger saddles, and they actually way smaller saddles.
Really?
This is probably like mid-size saddle,
Okay.
There is some saddles that probably like weigh 1 pound for like people like jockeys that struggle a lot with weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're basically just stirrups and that little tiny thing. Yeah.
Insane.
Honestly, like it probably is like this big.
Some chubby jockey
Like
rolls in there.
Yeah, like
Okay, so this hooks into the belts that go
the
under
girth.
the horse.
Yeah, like it's like elastic band.
Okay.
We call them girths. That's what.
Okay, so you're out there. You get on you have the saddle. You're on the horse, and you're in the gate. And then what happens? What are you doing while you're in the gate to keep the horse ready to race?
We just try to your best and to like just have we have another person that is kind of like helping you manage the horse while you're in the gate, and this happens more than maybe like 15 seconds you're in the gate, 20 seconds, 25
Right.
seconds the most, so for that time you have a person kind of helping you control the horse and kind of like make sure he's looking forward,
just like a rodeo, almost like a rodeo when they're getting on the bull.
something like
Yeah.
that, and then hold on and wait till the they get open, and then it's go time.
Liquid death. The summer gets the most out of you. Physically, it drains you. It'll suck the water out, it'll purge it. Get it out of your skin, out of your body, out of your arms and legs. It'll get you. That's why Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app. From ordering in restaurants or asking for directions, Babbel will help. If you don't know how to talk and you ask for directions, someone's not going to know what you want. You might ask for directions. Your house could be on fire and they're going to hand you a hat or a fork. You don't know. You have to be able to communicate. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go, like Spanish. Wish I knew more so I could talk to Mario today in Spanish. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. That's right. Learn a language, damn it. I'm just going to ask you point blank. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months. That's 6 months of babbling for the price of just 3. Go to Babbel, BABBEL.com, and use promo code Theo for an extra 3 months free. That's right. Learn el lengua. Go to Babbel, BABBEL.com, code Theo for an extra 3 months free. Keeps is what I've been using to keep my hair. I got hair and I got time on this earth, and those are things that usually don't coincide. So I'm trying to keep what I have, keep that carpet on my head. Keeps helps men keep their hair and prevent hair loss. Now, if you're already entirely bald, then Keeps is not the right solution. Nope, it can't reverse what's going on, but it can help you keep what you have. That's why I use it. Look at my head. It's not bad. 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35. Yep, you got to fight back. It's low-cost treatment, start at just $10 per month, and Keeps offers generic versions, or generic. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Theo to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/Theo to get your first month free. Keeps.com/Theo. And so once the gate opens, what is the first thing? Does the horse automatically know to go?
They know to go, and then sometimes you have to encourage them, and then whatever the plan was with the trainer, whatever the trainer told you, like, hey, I want you to be in the front, I want you to be, mid pack, let 2-3 horses go, I want you to be last, then right away, then you try to do the best you can to stick to the plan.
Wow. What's the most exciting point in the race, if there is? Like, is it right when that gate opens? Or is that frenetic? It feels like it would be so, like, there's so many things happening at once. Is it hard to kind of just stay in what's going on with you?
Yeah, well, the most definitely the gate, because it's like an F1 racing, the start, right? Everybody, you want to get your position as soon as you can, and then from that point on, so then you're able to like chill, relax, save your horse, or those type of things, So the start is definitely like very crucial and very excited, very like a lot of adrenaline, a lot of rush going on. To me, that part, and then like the last quarter of a mile of the race, especially if I know, I still have a lot of horse.
Still have something in the tank.
I still have a lot in the tank, That's probably the most excited for me.
How do you know if you have a lot in the tank? Is it because you've previously tried that horse and got an idea of what's in that horse? Or is it because in that moment you can kind of tell what's in the tank?
Both. It's because you get to know the horse prior, on training. And I consider myself lucky, because I can tell by just holding my reins, being in sync, being in how do you say that's like synchronized or being in in a mutual
like a female volleyball squad kind of.
something
Yeah,
like
I feel you. But yeah, I know you see it's like synchronicity kind of. Yeah.
So all that, like I get to feel my horse. You feel the energy. Like they have a lot of energy. Horses have a lot of energy, so you feel them. So like they'll tell you. If they're tired or that's all, hey, you know what, that's all I got, buddy. I have you can tell when the horse give you everything, or you can tell when your horse is like, no, we have something. There is little tricks that you can do mid race to kind of test how much horse you have left.
Okay.
So
what are some of those? Take me through some of those, like just even small little things.
Small little things is like, for example, you're like comfortable holding him. He's obeying what you said, and all of a sudden you kind of go like, and they're just like you feel the push, the push. You're kind of shifting gears in a car. You feel that, okay, I have it. So you kind of like you ease up on him and be like, okay, don't worry.
Okay, I see what's up, baby. We're gonna do it when we need to do it. Yeah. Okay.
And then sometimes you're asking the horse and he goes nowhere, and then it's like, oh, bro, it's gonna be a rough trip.
He's like looking at the concession stand in the distance.
Basically, yeah.
Is there a way to turn around? Say a horse kind of feels like it's not into it, or it's gassed out, or it's not having that flair in that race. Is there a way to recalibrate that kind of horse, or is it just kind of like sometimes that's just the way that it rolls?
Yeah, well, there's like horses, right? It's a living creature, so like no, like in that is nothing you can do or to shift that. When a horse can give you all the air, when a fire is tired, there's no way you can pump air into him and all of a sudden
wouldn't that be great if they brought a pump out?
I know, right? So no, like basically it's our responsibility to just kind of like wrap up, save him, and
right, save him. So then you're thinking about a chance for him to run a few weeks from now.
Wow. Regroup, like maybe he wasn't feeling good that day, that's the other thing, you can be on the favorite, but what if that horse that specific day that he's gonna run is just not feeling it, like, oh, he is about to get sick, sometimes when we are about to get a cold, like you can feel it, 2-3 days before like that, you kind of feel a little bit. Yeah. So the same thing with horses, so.
Huh. Wow, that's so interesting, man. We got a question that came right here for you, Mario.
Yo, Mr. Gutierrez. Got a question for you, big dog. What is it like straddling one of those land sharks with millions of people watching you? How do you stay composed and not absorb the pressure that is being a jockey in the Kentucky Derby?
Are there races like the Kentucky Derby? Right. Thank you, brother gang, baby. Are there races like that Kentucky Derby where it's you just feel the energy is so much bigger?
Yeah. I think the Kentucky Derby should be on your bucket list, just to go and experience like 160,000 people, all eyes looking, and like the 20 horses that are competing there. The build up to the Kentucky Derby is like, it's a different beast.
So take me through. Can we see your race when the your first win there? And would you say it was 2016, 2012?
12.
And how many times have you watched this? A lot.
No very many times. Yeah. I haven't rewatched it. No.
Larry Colmus with the call.
Okay, so where are you at in this one, Mario?
19?
Ready for the start.
19?
Yeah.
They're off in the
purple?
Kentucky
In the purple,
Derby.
yeah.
And as expected, Triniberg had a great start. Gemologist is also
Okay, so
off
let's stop
quickly.
when we get to
Hansen
that.
is in between horses, and Bodemeister is down on the
that
inside.
wide cam
and now
again, so we
Bodemeister's
can see.
ahead of Triniberg. Bodemeister and Triniberg.
Or go back next so we can see that wide where it's like the flock. Okay,
had a
right
great
here.
start.
So what's kind of going on right here? Like horses are coming out. Some of them, I guess, like are some of the riders are in the lead here. Like,
yeah.
Is that because the jockey has like kind of commanded them to be in the lead, or did the horse just come out strong?
No, a lot of horses are like being commanded to go to the lead, and everybody is trying to be. It's like not necessarily that you want to go to the lead, but you want to get a clear path so you can be like maybe like to be in front of a horse, whatever horse is behind you, because that way you can get your position faster,
Okay. And now if a horse comes up, say you come out of the gate and another horse kind of gets in front of you a little bit, is that bad for your horse?
Yeah, because then you had to regroup. You have to check your horse. Now you have to weigh whatever that horse in front of you is gonna do, and then you hope after that, then you get to do your strategy, or basically choose plan B or plan C. Now you're there. Now choose what you do. You chose to stay there, or you chose to go around that horse in front of you. It's just a lot of you have to adjust in the moment.
Is there a moment, there's a horse here that's in the back, and he's only in the back by about 3 lengths, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And is that right, you think? How many lengths has he been in the back?
Yeah, he's probably like around 6-7 legs behind.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my length math is what it used to be. I was just trying to sound like I knew what I was saying. But so he's about 6 or 7 lengths back.
Yeah, he is.
Does that horse, he still has a chance to win though, huh?
Of course. Yeah, no, of course he has. Unless that horse strategy or was to go into the front,
Oh,
you
it's
know.
going to the front.
If that was the case, then he's totally screwed.
Okay.
He's like not liking his chances.
And
right
the
now.
jockey's realizing at that point, this is probably just not going to be the
This is not
day.
going to be good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's keep it cruising then.
Start. Gemologist is also out.
And where you at right here?
On the outside?
Oh, there you are cruising, huh?
Yeah.
And now Bodemeister's ahead of Triniberg.
You're kind of in the middle right now, right? Is that
I'm
your
in the
purple
mi-
helmet?
Yeah, the purple helmet. I'm in the middle. I'm
We'll
gonna
have to
bounce
see
a
the
little
gas.
bit.
That thing's got some gas in it, huh?
Yeah.
Hansen's hard to control early. Gemologist is fifth on the outside. I'll have another is next. And
Okay, so
Calvin
you
Morel is right on the
stop it up here, Nick. So you have turns here. Like, how much turns do you have?
2.
2 turns. So you have this one, and then
And then
coming
the
out
last
of it.
one. Yeah.
Now, what do you do during the turns, man?
Well, you try to save
I
as
hate
much.
turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't do much. Like, even if you're playing a racing game or something, like on the turns, you're like,
You had to
"Ugh."
slow down a little bit.
Yeah, you just have to like be in the turn. You can't. I feel like it's hard to use strategy.
Yeah, no, you just have to help your horse to take the turn the best way possible, and then like set up your coming out of this first turn, because you're gonna get a stretch again,
Okay.
and then line up to get the last turn,
Okay, let's keep it cruising here.
The rail will take charge Indy as they move into the turn. And then it's Daddy Knows Best on the far outside liaison. Creative Cause, Optimizer along the rail.
Now, did
Between
you
those two
feel
is
like you had a
Galan,
chance in
and then
this
it's
race right
Alpha,
here? What were
followed
you
by
feeling like?
Saber-
I did that. I have a chance because this is a horse that I got very familiar with him before going to the Kentucky Derby, and you have to understand, like, this never happened to me. It never happens to nobody. All of a sudden, a kid coming from a C racetrack or D racetrack, and all of a sudden he is in the Kentucky Derby. First of all, it was a lot of doubts. It's like, well, is he even have it? Is it really that? Can he be good enough to be in this type of
Right.
races?
Does he even have his adult teeth? I'm sure a lot of people were wondering,
Probably,
yeah.
Oh, they're probably thinking, he's totally gonna melt down, or things
Oh,
like
the
that, or the
pressure.
pressure and all these things.
Was there a lot of pressure?
No, I'm very lucky that I don't the pressure. I'm very good under pressure, and I couldn't like
And you're in fourth right here?
Yeah,
So-
I'm 4 right now.
So this is the second turn.
This is the second turn.
Wow.
I
what
thought I was
coming
gonna finish second. If you see that horse in front,
Okay.
he is like super in front of me.
Oh, totally.
And then, but my horse still has some gas, so I'm thinking like, oh my God, I'm gonna finish second in the Kentucky Derby. I was pumped, I was
Okay,
so
stop it right
pumped.
here. Stop it right here. Okay, what do you do on the horse here? So you have we also have. I just want to show this here. This is called a what?
Whip crop.
Okay, whip or crop, and then we have your helmet here. Okay, and so that's pretty light. Everybody wears kind of the same type of helmet.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you now at this point? How much times can you whip the horse? As much as you want.
This, yeah, but a lot of rules have changed now. Now we're not allowed, But I'm never like known to hit my horses a lot, So if you see here, like I hit once, and then you push your horse, you had to give him a chance to respond, But back in 2012, there wasn't like a restriction on how many times you can whip a horse.
So you
It
could just
wasn't.
like a stepdad out there. Huh?
If you want, yeah, you could have gone like like But
Does it hurt the horse much? It doesn't. What do you think?
well, it depends. I think back in the days it used to. If I show you one of the whips that they used to use, the old timers,
Really, they used to use some serious, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's not as like, I mean, if this were lead, it would be tough.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Let's go through this, man. This is crazy. So what is your strategy right here? Like, do you have any?
Well, no, that's it. Like, as soon as you go to the last stretch, see, like that's just like try to go as far, like try to ask your horse to finish, like to
Are
give
you
you
yelling
the
at the horse?
Yeah,
too, verbally.
I
What do you
yell,
say?
Come on.
Come on. Yeah, come on.
Another has won the Kentucky Derby.
Oh my God, it's so
And that was
cool.
Bodymeister Dullahan, and went the day well.
You must have been.
I was already crying there like a little bit.
Wow.
Look at this. Yeah.
Doug O'Neill accepting the hugs all around.
Oh man, that must have been awesome.
Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah. Then well, I guess like like you say, compare that's like our Super Bowl. Like so my whole life. I was 24 years old, I think. So my whole life, like just flash in front of me, thinking that maybe this is why I don't watch this replay, because then I get emotional a little bit.
Dude, I'm emotional. I wasn't even in it. I mean, I've done steroids, but that's the closest I've come. I used to do them in high school. That's the closest I've come to being in the
I
Kentucky
think watching
Derby.
the race here with you, I understand why I don't watch the race a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. But it's really exciting. I think also it's a way to kind of channel what just that it's even a possibility for people,
Of course.
It's
yeah.
inspiring. Like if there's young men out there who think about being jockeys, young Latino men out there. We have a good Latino audience who think about being jockeys, or it's interesting. Or they might have a kid who's like a more of a petite sized kid, and like, what could I get my kid into?
Yeah.
You don't think that, man. That's really almost the last thing you think about.
Probably,
I feel like it's either hide and go seek or being a jockey. I feel like if you're kind of more petite size, So take me through your journey as like how you got into like doing like how did it start for you?
Yeah, well, like I say, winning this race is kind of like it flashes. I thought about myself, like where back at home. My dad tried to provide better from us. Like
In Mexico or no?
In Mexico,
What part?
Veracruz.
Oh, I've never been there. Where is it? It's nice.
It's nice. It's
It
nice.
sounds nice.
It's nice.
It's on the beach or no?
We have a lot of beach. Yeah. So, but I'm not from the beach part of the state. Like I'm more like to the inside. I'm not, maybe like 2 hours.
Oh, you're on the Gulf side.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Right up in the top, around there. That's where I'm from. Exactly around there. Yeah. El Higo, Veracruz. That's exactly where I'm from.
It's a big place.
No, I mean when I was there, it's probably like the town was around probably like 10,000 people.
Oh wow, so you must be like a hero, huh?
Oh, when I was there, yeah, all my friends and everything, yeah. So
because 10,000 is pretty small. I mean, it's a small town.
It's a small town. It was very small, very poor town too.
Yeah,
very very poor.
A lot of horses, like was horsing like a big business there.
No, for like that's how it's very crazy that I got into like even from my town, like that town and anything around there, I was the only one doing it because like I said, my dad, we were like really poor. We were very very poor. So my dad land this job and this farm, and the owner of this farm happened to own a quarter horse, and then he saw my dad, and my dad is a little bit smaller than me, and
oh really?
He probably looked at him and be like, oh, he could be a jockey. So he went and asked my dad, hey, are you interested in learning how to become a jockey? I want you to like ride my horse. And then my dad said yes, because that's probably like a way for him to do better and earn more money for us.
What a rare job too.
Yeah. So my dad said yes. So then I was like probably 7 years old when I was watching my dad becoming a jockey, So I was like, I love my dad, So I was like, no, I'm gonna be just like my dad. I want to be a jockey. And since that early age, I just knew that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Your dad must be so proud of you, huh?
Yeah. Very proud.
Does he still live there in Veracruz or no?
Yeah, my whole family. I'm by myself here. Me and my wife.
And your wife, yeah. Okay, so your dad gets into it, then you. So how do you get on the horse then?
Well, then
was your dad good? Was your dad a good jockey?
I think so. I think my dad was. I think he was better than what people wanted to give him credit. As a jockey, he did it for very short, probably like 6-7 years.
Hey, you want to pull your jacket down in the back? It's just right, just so you.
Yeah.
No, you don't take it off. You can leave it on.
Well,
no, I'm just saying pull it down. I think. No, just on the edges. Sorry.
I can take it off. I'm a little bit hot. I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I turned the AC down. How are you feeling?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a cool jacket, man. What is that style called?
I don't know. My wife dressed me. She did? Yeah, she
Dude,
dressed
she
me
did a
for
good job.
everything.
It almost has like an authentic, like, I don't want to say Mexican look, but authentic.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like
that.
yeah, it's like I don't know what it reminds me of. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's cool. Okay, so how do you get on the horse?
So
your dad's jockeying. Is he jockeying in races? Is he jockeying?
no, yeah, and quarter horse races in Mexico, very popular quarter horse racing in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, all over Mexico is very
You bring
popular.
that up. I want to see what that quarter horse is. And what? It's like the little ponies, the little ones.
No, big horses.
Oh, it's full horses.
It's a normal size horse, quarter horse, but it's a very short race. It's like one of those cars that just go like a quarter of a mile, something like that.
Oh, dang! So it's like drag racing,
And they're more bulk, They're So it's like drag
okay.
race. Yeah, that's.
and it's a popular event too in Mexico.
It's very popular in Mexico. Like in all the states in Mexico, there's a lot of quarter horse. That was like how it started when I was 14. I was doing a lot of quarter horse racing in Mexico.
Yeah.
Before I went to Mexico City.
Is it like what would you compare it to, like a sport here? Because it's more popular there than it is here.
Quarter horse racing, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's illegal here.
Oh, right.
No, I shouldn't say that. No, it's not illegal. We have quarter horse racetracks here, but there is not a lot of them.
Right.
Well, I would say match races. Match racing means is like in Mexico, like anybody that has a farm, could build their own racetrack and they can put together a car or like 5-6 races,
Right.
And then you charge people to come watch your event, and then that's match racing, I don't think
That might not be legal here.
To
Wow.
do it. So.
Yeah, because I think a lot of horse, like it's all kind of, it might be owned by a lot of like bigger groups and stuff, so they don't want like the smaller guy getting up, Okay, cool. So then you start doing the quarter horse racing, and do you do well at it?
Yeah, I was doing really well. I was doing really well. By this time, I mean that from I was 7, now I'm 14. Now I'm start racing my quarter horse for my dad, and there's now people calling my dad every weekend, every 15 days. Hey, is your kid available? We want him to run these races these days. So my dad kind of was in my first agent, so he will people will call him.
Okay,
and
cool,
then my dad
cool.
will say, hey, we're gonna go race here and there.
You're like, my kid's not available. Like we want him to ride a bear, and you're like, that's not. We don't do that.
Yeah,
Just horses.
So that what happened. So that's how I got into 4 years. I did it until I finished my high school in Mexico, in that little town, and then I asked my dad, because now I'm like, oh wow, like I'm good here. Like I know I'm good here, and by this time I think we were a little bit better off. So I think we finally were able to put in our farm a satellite TV, and then we used to get ESPN, and then
that'll do it.
ESPN on the weekends there will be a.
Now you're wearing Dwayne Wade jerseys on the back of the horse.
Yeah, there will be a show that half an hour show will talk specifically about the hippodromo in Mexico.
About horse racing in Mexico?
Really? We only have one racetrack, official racetrack in Mexico City. This is in Mexico City, the Hippodromo de las Americas. So there will be 30 minutes of like kind of giving you the highlights of the weekend, only highlighting the big races. So I will watch that show every week. I will watch the show and I will see names and I will see like these top jockeys. And now in my head, I'm like, okay, I know I'm good here, but am I like, how good am I?
This
like,
is it here,
yeah,
huh?
this is it. Oh, that's an old picture.
Wow. So then you get it in your head, can I go there and do it?
Yeah.
So did you go perform? How do you say it again? The
Hippodromo
de
las Americas.
Americas?
That one.
Hippodromo de las Americas. Hippodromo.
Down, a little bit more down. You'll see it. Like that one. No. The one next above. No. Down.
No.
That one.
Oh, Hippodromo de las Americas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big place, huh?
Yeah. So
and it's only in Mexico City.
It's only in Mexico City. So
you went there.
Yeah. As soon as I finished my school.
Did you play any other sports in school or anything?
I used to play soccer, goalie, but I was so small, with my friends.
That'd be the craziest.
Yeah.
Who would put you as the goalie?
I know.
Not to say that, but
we had one of the best goalies of Mexico, Jorge Campos.
You do?
He was smart.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was smart.
Oh, wow. So maybe you're... Look, what do I know, man?
Yeah, come on. So yeah, so
Jorge Campos. Let me see him.
yeah, see that one.
Oh, he's a legend, huh?
Yeah.
I want a picture of him in goal.
He
Oh,
was
he's
a
a flashy
goalkeeper.
guy, huh? I like the colors he
Yeah,
has.
he liked the colors. Oh, that was like I remember when I was growing up. That was like everybody wanted to be
Jorge
Jorge
Campos?
Campos. Yeah.
Jorge Campos. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay, so then you get there.
So I asked my dad. I said, like, Dad, I really don't want to go to school. I really want to go and challenge myself, try it. You just please give me 1 year. I was begging him for 1 year opportunity, and then I convinced him. I packed my stuff and I went to Mexico City, and yeah,
Was it scary or no?
it was well. It was, but when you're so young and you don't really think about that. I wasn't thinking how was it gonna be when I was there. My goal was like I just want to convince my dad to let me go, right? That I really want this, right? So I convinced him. But so the moment that I got in Mexico City, I was like, "Jeez, okay, now what?"
Dude, that's such a great statement. It's so much when you're young, you don't think about what it's going to be like when you get there. You just think about what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's kind of a bummer. As you get older, you start thinking, what is it going to be like when I get there?
That's actually, I think that's one of the bummers. We start thinking too much of I think that's probably what hold us a lot of people to really go for what we really want.
Yeah, because you're right. When you're young, I just got to get there, and then I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get there, and how do you get into the race? Has your dad already agented you onto a horse, or what's going on?
No, that my dad stayed home. So now I'm even though we're known in our little town and the region that we were match racing, my dad stays home. I'll go by myself to the racetrack.
Right, you're grande pescado in your town.
Yeah. So now I'm going there, and then like I said, I didn't thought about how I was gonna do things. So all of a sudden I'm in Mexico City. I wanna somehow ride horses in Mexico City, and then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I go to the racetrack, right? So I go to the racetrack. I'm asking people, "Hey, how do you get in the racetrack?" Blah blah blah. There is this gate. Go to this gate. So I'm walking through the gate. I have a garbage bag full of some my pictures and things like that to show people that in fact I'm legit. I can ride horses, right? So and there is a security guard in there and be like, "Okay, I want to go in." And he's like, "Where's your license?" I'm like, "Well, I don't have a license,
This is like Rudy. It's like Rudy Gutierrez. That's what I feel like,
So I'm like, well, but I wanna work. How do I do that? And he's like, oh, you first have to get a license. And the guy doesn't give me any information on how
that guy
to.
never does.
Yeah,
That guy never
goddamn,
does.
So now I'm like,
That guy is just
he sent me
eating dulces.
back.
He doesn't care. Yeah.
So somebody else told me there is multiple entries. So the next day I go try another one. Same thing happens. They reject me, and finally I land to a gate where the guy is somewhere kind of nice, know. And then he told me, no, you know what, come, tell them, come tomorrow. I'll let you in tomorrow, and then you're gonna go to the stewards. That's the judges, everybody, and then just tell them what you want to do and things like that.
And are there other guys like you trying to get in there? Are you seeing
No,
these guys?
I don't think. No, I guess everybody now. I know. Once I got in, that how you get into the racetrack is you have to have somebody in the racetrack that kind of brings you in, even if it's a rider, a person that is an exercise rider, or a trainer that can bring you in, be like, hey, I want you to introduce you to this, or I want you to be a jockey, or things like that, I didn't know anybody there, so I just so I go.
It's like trick or treating.
Yeah.
They're like, look,
So I go.
He knew 3 security guards and 2 were
Yeah,
assholes.
exactly. So finally, I went into this.
It's good to know, first of all, that security guards are assholes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best thing to know.
Yeah,
that they do their job no matter what country, where it is. They're the same guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you go in. So you get in front of the right people.
Yeah, well, no, they weren't even the right people. I went to the judge, to the stewards. We call them stewards. The ones that regulate and they make the rules to apply to the trainers and everybody. So I went to their office and they're like, okay, I hear you want to, an interview with us. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be able to, I want a license. I want to ride horses. I want to know, and they were like looking at me, and I guess nobody does it my way, or the way I was doing it. And they're like, oh, kid, no, you're super lost. It's like, this is what you have to do. You had to go to each barn, you had to first try to land a job. Let's see whoever employs you, to be an exercise rider or to ride a pony, first you have to have a job, Once somebody is willing to employ you, then you can come. He's going to have to sign some papers, and that's how you're going to get a license. So I'm like,
Wow.
he's like, so I encourage you to go to each barn and just knock on the door and see who. So
then you're going barn to barn, huh? And you found someone?
I found someone the same day. I found someone that was like, okay, I'll give you a chance,
And then it went well?
It went well. Like I got my license. I had to. I thought it went well for me. I got to exercise horses in the morning for him. And then that provided me somewhere to sleep. I was living at the Mexico City racetrack for my first 6 months of.
And do they have lodging for the riders and stuff?
No.
Where were you guys sleeping over there?
I was sleeping on the stove.
Really?
Yeah.
On the stove?
No, in the stable.
In the stove?
Stove,
Really?
yeah.
In hay or something?
There was a little camping little mattress that was there,
And was there a lot of guys in there?
No, I was just myself. I guess because I'm come from a small town, right? So everybody's from the city, so I didn't know where. I don't have anywhere else to go.
Dang, it's so wild. It's interesting that stories from Mexico are now stories from America 50 years ago or 70 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's just interesting.
Yeah,
That's interesting, man.
So that happened, but quickly, I went there, and in 2005, I was able to ride my very first race in Mexico City.
At the
Yeah.
hippodrome?
Yeah.
Wow.
It didn't go well.
It didn't?
Yeah. No. I
And-
finished last, probably,
No.
by a lot.
And did you feel what happened, man?
Well, I remember the trainer. Now I had changed different barns. I think that now when I was getting ready to finally do my debut, the guy had me some pump, and he was like, "Kid, when I put you on a horse, I'm gonna make sure at least you finish top 4. You don't have to. You're gonna finish top 4. And I was so pumped. So finally, when I was walking into the jockey's room, and I was so excited. I was doing this and everything. I was so excited.
You have on 11 rosaries?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm going to the race, and the trainer told me, I don't want you to do anything. I want you to look down and just push your horse. Try to change whips. Change your whip from the right to left to right. I want you to look pretty. I want people to look at you, and I want you to look good. Don't worry about anything else.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. I'm gonna finish top 4. So he's not guaranteeing me I was gonna win, but I'm pumped, right? So race goes. We're coming down the stretch, and I'm putting my head down, and I start riding my horse, and I'm switching sticks, everything. I finally see the wire. I'm gonna stop my horse, and I'm not even kidding you. There is some I'm not even kidding you. There is some horses were coming back already. I was so devastated. I was I wanted to go home. I was maybe I should go ride quarter horses.
Maybe I should just worry. Yeah. Oh my God, that's okay. It's so funny just to imagine somebody just going all they can. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. You think you're getting grapes and you're getting damn raisin. That's when I first heard of Mint Mobile. I was like, what is it? Is it somebody drives by and just shoots a mint in your mouth or something? But when I first heard that Mint Mobile is a premium wireless service that starts at just $15 a month, I thought, what is the catch? But after speaking with Mr. Mint himself, and after using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. That's right. By cutting out retail stores, there's no crazy overhead costs that get passed on to you. So if you're looking for extra savings, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless, just $15 a month. If you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. That's right. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, you have $15, don't you? Don't you have it? Check your pants. Check your grandparents. And to get that plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Theo. That's mintmobile.com/THEO. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Theo. You know, you want to kick your summer off in style with the brand that's reinventing men's basics, and that's Mack Weldon. They make underwear, and I love them, honestly. They keep my body warm. They keep my body held together. You know, as I age, my body starts to distance itself from my skin and my bones and everything. But Mack Weldon keeps you cool and comfortable all summer. From working to working out, happy hour to playing with your kid or kids, Mack Weldon has men's essentials for whatever your day includes. And they really are. So they are the best underwear that I've worn in a long time, and they are Mack Weldon. They have a swim line with trunks and board shorts that are quick to dry and have 4-way stretch fabric. They also have a free loyalty program called Weldon Blue. Level 1 gets you shipping for life. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/THEO and enter promo code THEO. That's Mack Weldon, MackWeldon.com/Theo, promo code Theo for 20% off. Mack Weldon, reinventing men's basics, and they do a good job. I enjoy what I wear from them. Let me think about another question here. Okay, so then you get up to, so how do you get up to Canada then? And why Canada?
Well, because I got the opportunity. But then, like I said, then it took me a while to people to know me and start giving me the chance. But once people give me the chance in Mexico City, I started doing really good.
Okay, so you started picking up steam.
Picking up steam like right away, you know. I finished Top Apprentice on 2005, and I finished Top Apprentice in 2016. And I only wrote 2016, like maybe like half of the season.
2006.
2006, sorry. Yeah. To the mid-season, because like on early 2016, somebody from Canada came down to Mexico City and looking to for an apprentice and a professional writer.
Okay.
You know, so somebody said like, hey, there is a guy from Canada. He's looking to bring some.
And he took you up there.
Yeah, he took me up there.
Was that cool?
That was really cool. Well, it was. The whole experience was cool. Like again, you don't think about what you get, how is it gonna be there, right? So now I'm excited. I'm like, okay. I called my dad. I remember I called my dad. I said like, hey dad, what are you thinking? He's like, well, you're doing this. This is By this time, my dad is like, I don't see you ever coming back to school. So just go, try to go all the way, see how far you can go, right?
And is there money? Are you making money there in the Mexico City?
In Mexico City, I was because like I said, like, look, we're very, very poor. So I was making, like, I thought I was like, now I'm really helping my mom. I'm finally buying some furniture for the house, you know, some couch, some new TVs, you know. I'm upgrading, I'm helping my dad. Like, now we're like finally living, like, you know, we can buy shoes, you know. So,
right, you're helping out.
Yeah, I'm helping out.
You're helping out.
So yeah, and like I say, I'm picking up steam, you know. So I'm good right now, right? So when this opportunity came, you know, everybody was like, you know, well, yeah, like we encourage you to go. My dad, once my dad told me, kind of, it was good. Like he gave me not the okay, but kind of like the reinforcement of like, you know, like do the jump. I knew I was going, right. So I had to wait for my papers.
And do you have to ride up there on a horse, or you fly up there?
No, I flew there. My first time in an airplane too.
No.
So now, like, it's finally like my day to go. I remember I was always like a mama's boy, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I remember asking them to please come to Mexico City and sleep with me before I go, you know.
And y'all all slept there?
Well, in my room, you know,
Okay,
they
good.
came and stayed with me, you know. They came
to
stay
wish
with
you
me.
off, right?
Yeah.
And do you have siblings too, or no?
I have three siblings. I have a younger brother and two older sisters.
And do they ride or no?
No, nobody rides.
Is it a female sport as well, or no? It's
Yeah,
only
of
men?
course. No, it's female. We have female jockeys here in California and everywhere, all the everywhere. You know.
And
Mexico, not much, but now my brother now became an agent, a jockey agent, and yeah, there is probably like 7 girls being jockeys in Mexico City.
is he your agent yet, your brother?
No.
Okay.
No, he has to improve a lot.
Dude, put Nick on a horse or put me on a rehab, dude. I'll see what I come in.
So yeah, that's how I ended up in Canada with no money. I think I took like 10,000 pesos, and my goal was like, with this 10,000 pesos, I'm gonna exchange for Canadian money.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was supposed to have an agent. I supposed to have a place to stay, and I supposed to have a car, how to travel around, right? This is what they offered me. This is what they told me.
About $500 you had.
Yeah, well, when I got there, I exchanged all my money. I think I got like 400, 450 back in the day,
makes
you know,
sense.
something like that. I don't know, but no more than 400. So there is like no agent, there is no place to stay, so they go and they put me in this hotel very close to the racetrack. Now I know it's very close. I didn't even know where the racetrack was back in those days, you know. And I had to pay for my own hotel, right?
Oh.
So I stayed there 3 nights, and all my money, basically I just spent my money in the hotel.
Oh.
And then like I had no food. I don't speak English. I basically was living on chips from a vending machine. Somehow I knew what a vending machine was.
What
and
kind
I
of chips was it? You remember?
Potato chips and like some other type of chips. I don't know.
I like
I was
Fritos.
drinking water.
I do
from
Fritos. If I do a vending machine, I do Fritos.
I don't even think Fritos were in Canada back in the
They
day.
might not have been.
Yeah.
You know what? You could be right about that.
So I was starving for 3 days. Couldn't speak.
But that helps your weight, dude. So you get on a horse.
I'm pretty sure I got super light, you know? Yeah, so I was like,
you
God damn
show
it.
up at 9 pounds, 10 ounces onto a
Yeah,
horse.
Exactly. This is really funny because finally my agent shows up and now he's taking me to the racetrack, right?
Oh,
And-
that's exactly what. Now, this is a typical agent. That's just like Hollywood. They show up just when it's time for you to try and make some money.
Okay, yeah. So he took me to the racetrack, and then he showed me the racetrack. And when I look at the racetrack, I was like, I'm used to in Mexico City ride in a mile racetrack, you know, a mile. This racetrack is 5 furlongs. It's like compared to a mile racetrack. Now you go like in a very tiny circle, and I was like, oh, this is the racetrack. And I'm like, Jesus, what am I doing here? You know. And I was like, okay. And right then in my head, I made my plan. I was like, no, I'm going to ride 1 week. If I win, whatever I win, buy my ticket. And
I'm
I'm
outta
going
here.
back. I'm out of here. I'm not going to stay here, you know. So that's what happened. I rode there the first week. I won like 4 races, something like that, you know. And then I couldn't wait for like payday, right? And then I was like, okay, where's the check? So they come with the news. They'd be like, no, we pay here every 2 weeks.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, God damn it, I had to stay another
You
week.
got another week.
And I stay another week. Okay, I'll wait another week. I wait another week, win another 4 races. I don't know how many races I won. But I know when the check came, it says like around like 16,000, 15,000, something like that.
Wow.
And then the first thing I did is like go to the calculator, how many pesos are these things, you know? And it was a lot of pesos. And I was like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here. This is not too bad.
That's crazy, man. And so you stayed in Canada for how long?
I stayed in Canada all the way up to 2011.
That's cool. I love Canada, man.
So nice.
He was
So
in
nice.
Vancouver too.
Vancouver.
Oh, yeah. Vancouver's cool, man. Kitts Beach or something. Is that out there?
It's a different. It's not. That's not the name of the beach.
St. Kitts or something? Is there a Kitts?
I should know. I live there like
Yeah, you probably. Yeah,
I
you
should have known, but I'm horrible.
But do you go to the beach there sometime? Like they have like
Yeah,
rocks
well,
and
yeah,
like you get like
yeah,
people
there's-
biking and
yeah,
everything
biking
and stuff.
and
It's beautiful
everything,
there.
yeah. A lot of
love-
lakes too.
I love Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people are so.
People are
friendly.
super nice. People are super nice.
People are so nice in Canada, man. I don't know how they did it. Now they can't solve this COVID thing. Canada's still closed from COVID. Has Mexico been closed for COVID? This whole
Never,
time?
I don't think they never really close.
Dude, America, it's the biggest bunch of bull. I feel like it's such the biggest bullshit that they put
I
on
used to
America.
have those talks when this COVID began, you know, because I was like, I think everybody was really following a lot, and I was following a lot what's happening in Mexico, and I hear like the new president talk and how he was like, you know, his explanation for this virus and everything like that, and there's his reason why he wouldn't close the borders. And yeah, people will be some restriction, but he would not close the borders, you know. And then I was like, why can't United States do this? And even my wife was like, you know, this president doesn't know what he's doing, you know, he's gonna like, because the healthcare system in Mexico is not
Not the same as
not
here.
the same as here, right? So I was like, well, we'll see. We'll see, right? And
it's fine.
it's fine.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man, what they do.
But you can even see it here. Like you look Florida, you look Texas, you look or even California. You know, like how many you know, like we went like super crazy, shut everything down. Now that everything is going back to normal, you know,
everything's fine.
Everything is fine, you know. So,
and it's weird. Everything's just suddenly back and everything.
Yeah, it's like
doesn't
nothing
make
really
any sense.
changed, right? Like even in our job now, like going into Del Mar season in San Diego, now it seems that it's gonna. Yeah, it's nice, but now for us in this regarding to COVID, it's almost like that now. They say they're not forcing us to get the vaccine, but they really are, because now it's like if I want to go and do my normal training in the mornings, I have to be vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna be allowed to go in the mornings and train. I'm gonna be allowed to race, but I need to be in a separate room. And to me, look, I'm not educated, highly educated or anything, but to me it's like, we all the same family. We're riding here in Santa Anita. Nobody's getting tested. What's different for right now? Why it has to be so strict in Del Mar than what it is right now? So, but now those are the rules, and we need to apply to the rules. And
it's the same thing. This guy Cole Beasley, who plays for I think Buffalo now, he just said the same thing, that he's a wide receiver for NFL for American football, and he has to he doesn't want to get vaccinated, but now he has to like practice separate. It's just ridiculous.
But why?
But like, he can play, but he's still allowed to play in the game.
I know. It's just crazy. It's like right now, I'm allowed to go in the mornings, and we're not testing. You know, we're not doing anything. You know, even the restaurants. You know, why can you just, if everything is open up? I think they're gonna have a little bit of restrictions. I don't know.
Well, it's also crazy. Like the mask mandate's lifted in LA, right? Mm-hmm. Also in Tennessee, but if you're on an airplane, you have to have a mask on in between.
Yeah.
It's like, for what? And also the whole time, like, so I've been living in Tennessee a lot during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And like everyone in Florida isn't dead. Everyone in Tennessee actually has been having a great time. And it's just, I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense. You could say whatever you want about the science, but even if you test the science in reality, which is how you create science, with hypothesis, certainly huge cities not getting sick has to be a valid test.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But it's amazing that Mexico didn't even shut down. I knew that. I knew they didn't. Well, I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been to Mexico. I've been to like...
There were some restrictions, but there was like, but you were still allowed to go to cross the border and go, and I'm sure there's still restaurants and things like that. You know?
Yeah.
People who go
even
to party
like Africa.
in
I was thinking, I've been to Africa a couple times. Like, I'm like, you telling me that they wandered through Africa and got masks on everyone in Africa? You're out of your mind. Yeah. It just all seemed kind of crazy. Let's get into a couple more questions. We had one right here that came in from these two. Well, here we go right here. What are these called? These
track rack. I don't know.
Track tricks. I don't know what you call them. Track rats. Beautiful ladies, I'm going to call them.
Hey Theo, hey Mario. We just had a quick question. We're from Louisville, and we were just trying to figure out where do all the rich horse trainers and owners hang out at?
Oh, dang.
Is there
They hang out
any
in
bars
suites.
or restaurants or golf courses that we should start going to?
And Theo, we'll see you September 18th to celebrate my best friend's 21st birthday in Cincinnati.
Oh, congratulations.
Gang,
that's
gang,
Cincinnati.
buzz.
Gang. That Cincinnati show is going to be great, man. Yeah, I guess these ladies are looking to meet some of the owners. How do they,
I
how do
don't
they
know.
meet
They
owners?
had to somehow manage to get into suites and ready. Like I say, the people that own the horses, they're you know, like
They're
in
fancy,
a
huh?
different level, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
But now there is like something called popular. They're doing like these syndicates. You know, like when there is like
a group of people.
A group of people. There is a couple of guys that are doing it here in Santa Anita too, where like there is two guys. They get a bunch of people, chip in a little bit of money, and then they own like small pieces of a horse. You know, and then
interesting.
Yeah.
Could Theo just like buy a horse that is already?
I think he can afford a horse.
But that's already
I don't know about that. I'll tell you this. If I can, I'll tell you what horse it is. It's named Tom Thumb, and I met him one time at the Pasadena Fair, and it's the world's...
You get to name your horse whatever you want.
Really?
Well, actually, you just have to. You have to. What is it like? We have some type of
Oh, you have to send the name through
Send
a
the
company
name
and
through
see?
a company, and then they will give you the okay. But there is a bunch of little tricks that you can do. So.
But could Theo just buy one that's already like trained and
Yeah.
ready to go, and then
Yeah.
have you as
Yeah.
his rider?
Yeah, there is different. That's like I say, that's really complicated to explain that, because we have like all type of races. Like in a whole car, if I can show you up, we have what it calls claiming racing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think the lowest we have here in Santa Anita is like 25.
This is the horse I met right here, and this Tom Thumb.
That's him right there.
He is so tiny, you may want to take him home.
That's a
and
little
cuddle him.
four-legged
But he wants
superhero
to stay
right
here
there.
So everyone can meet the world's
How long he gonna be here today for? He'll be here all day? How small is he?
De las grandes señoras de Kansas, él es más pequeño que algunas clases del
Dang, boy.
Pero es no era un bebé, él es
Oh,
un
baby, he's
caballito
so small.
crecido.
He couldn't even
And he's
get it.
alive, too?
Caballito
No,
más-
you had to give him a grape. So someone can buy. Say, how does someone get in a claiming race? What is that?
But that's kind of like the low level races. Horses that cannot compete in a allowance race. They're a little bit lesser. That you try to put them where they can win. So you don't want to break the horse heart. So you kind of had to first find where his level at and then raise them there so he can be competitive. So there is, I think it's $20-some thousand, the cheapest we have here. Maybe a little bit cheaper. And then, so you just contact your trainer or a trainer there and say, hey, I'm so-and-so and I want to claim a horse, and you can claim that horse.
And put him in the race?
Well, you had to do this. You had to do that while he's racing.
Oh.
So after the race,
right, you
it's
can claim
yours.
him.
No, if
Oh.
you put the claim in before he's going to race, right?
Uh-huh.
So now, if the claimant goes through, that means nothing happens to the horse. The horse clears the veterinarian and everything, because they want to make sure that the new owner gets a sound horse.
Okay.
So, because you already put the claim, and if the horse came back from the race good, now
He's
you
yours.
won. It's yours.
Really? You just pick him up
That's it. You just pick him up and call your trainer and
get him going,
and
huh?
get him going.
Dang.
That's how you do it. That's what I say. You can own a horse.
We could do it. We have room here, I think, maybe. I would name it. I have one horse, actually, Brendan, that we keep back here sometimes, but that's a different show.
He eats kratom and nicotine.
Yeah, he does. He's on a unique diet.
Diet.
What are the fitness things that you do fitness-wise to stay in shape, man?
I train boxing.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
I train boxing just because that's what I love.
Right.
And then that's the only thing that I'm actually excited to go and do. I try do the normal training, the cardio and weights and these things, but it's just like
it's not exciting for you.
It's not exciting for me, but I go boxing, it gets me the cardio, it gives me the strength, so something.
And are there other exercises that they ask you that help you be a jockey, or is it just about kind of keeping your weight down?
Keeping your weight down. We gallop. We ride. Like I said, we train a lot of horses during the week, so that kind of we get our fitness somehow from there too. Like we can do some type of a lot of squats, a lot of leg work. Our legs need to be strong. Our core, our arms.
Because the position you're in, can you bring that up, Nick? Do you mind?
Just hit when he's on a horse.
Yeah. Because you're real. I mean, you're in there. The goal is to stay as small as possible.
Yeah, aerodynamic too. Yeah.
And is there a certain like a nucleus point on the horse you want to stay on top of, kind of?
In the center, yeah.
Okay.
See.
Wow, man. And some can a little person or they used to call midget, but a little person, can they be a jockey or no?
They could. I think that would be difficult because the arm length, it probably.
Okay, so you have to have more. So the
yeah.
arm length is a little bit limited.
Yeah, or maybe they wouldn't be as strong as maybe the push would be like.
Yeah, I'm just curious as if why wouldn't more men or women like that be jockeys? And what about a child? Anybody ever try to sneak a child in there? Can a child do it?
No. You had to be. I think you had to be 16. I think is probably the youngest you can start. Probably 18, but you have to be signed by your parents.
Yeah. And so, does the horse get excited?
Yeah, that guy. He's gonna. Who's gonna?
He could do it. Hezbollah, dude.
Yeah,
he could do it, man.
Yeah, no.
I would like to see him do it, huh?
I think that would be dangerous.
We need to send him down to the hippodrome.
Yeah. Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, we need to send him down to Mexico City, man, and see what happens to him.
That is funny.
So the horse gets excited when it wins? Does it know? You feel like the horse knows that it won?
Oh yeah, I think so.
That's
I'm not
cool.
gonna tell you every horses, but yeah, they know when they win. They even get probably because they have a groom, right? The groom is the one that they probably spend the most amount of time with the groom, every single day from super early to super late in the afternoon, So, I mean, these grooms love these horses, right? So if their horse win, they probably get the extra carrot, the extra.
Right.
So they really know
everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Bobbing for apples, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to think of some other questions that we had. Nick, did anything pop in your head or anything good come in? Here's a question from a beautiful young lady, obviously, and this is from the Dust Bowl era. This question, and that's just a joke, lady. Is a beautiful kids, and that one kid looks a little bit like, I'm going to say it, like Hezbollah, who just sent in, who we just saw the picture of. What's up?
Theo and Mario. We are from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. And we have a question for Mario. Our racetrack in town is closing down and they are opening a new one outside of town. The First Nation people are going to open it up. And I was just wondering if you have any superstitions riding on an old track that's tried and true versus riding on a brand new track. Gang, gang. Gang, gang.
Oh, that's cute.
That's so cute.
Handsome,
Superstitions,
beautiful.
yeah. I think we all have little superstitions,
Yeah?
I did think, yeah. One of mine, in fact, like, let's say, like, we have big days of racing. Big days when they're expensive races,
Mm-hmm.
And if whatever I'm wearing, if I don't have a good day, I never wear that for a big day of
okay.
racing. But I think we all have that little superstition.
Is there more superstitions, do you think, between Latino riders or any other type of riders? Do you notice one or the other, really, or no?
No, but I really think everybody will have a little bit of something, like even if it's settled, like it's you don't do this type of thing before you're gonna race. There is a very common thing to say to owners or trainers to say, hey, I see you in the winner's circle, and some people hate to be,
so
to
they won't say
that,
certain things, jinx themselves
and things like that.
Do you will you wear socks and stuff during a thing? Like, what do you wear to keep yourself as light as possible?
Well, our equipment is super light. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, this weighs probably, all this total probably weighs 3 pounds.
So probably like our pants, socks, vest, and undershirt alone is probably like only 2 pounds. Less than 2 pounds.
And will you eat that morning, or you usually will kind of just have something light or something?
I have something lighter just because you don't want to go right with your belly full, Like I have a coffee and I have like a piece of bread or things like that,
Walk out of that one. This is an accident?
Yeah, so I was going to ask Mario, have you had bad accidents? I just saw this on your Instagram. You were sending a message to your fans telling them you were okay back in September 2020.
Yeah, back in September, I think that was a very hard one. I got a good concussion out of that one, So I landed on my head. It just landed and I didn't move. I got scared because I never landed that way. And then, I just felt a pain that I didn't feel before. And I was like, oh my God, I'm as good as gone. That's exactly what I thought. But then I was
You're going to be in the wheelchair. You're going to do the chariot races.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, we have a lot of fellow jockeys that, they
get hurt.
They get hurt like that and then they're up in a wheelchair.
And so what happens, what is the number one accident that happens with horses and with racing? Is it that the horse stops and you fly off? Is that you get knocked off? Is it the trampling? Like, what's the top deal that really gets you hampered out?
It's like, for example, you can get trapped like my last fall. I have a little clips, there is like inexperienced riders. Or not inexperienced riders, sometimes a rider can be a little bit careless, get too involved in the race and start shifting, and then you get sandwiched in between horses and now your horse clip heels, trips and with the other horse legs. And then I think that's the scariest part, and then sometimes.
So that would be the scariest thing.
Yeah, that would be the scariest thing, because then it's like there is nothing in your control, There is like you choose waiting. I remember back when that happened, I can see the guy shifting, but he was shifting a lot, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna realize he's doing this a lot. And then so I kept riding my horse, right? Because I had a hole to go through. I kept riding. he kept going, and by the time I'm like, I realized, okay, he's not gonna stop, right? Another horse was coming way faster, and my outside, and that's how the sandwich happened. And by that time, it was too late for me to do anything, and I was just trying to hold as hard as I could, and my horse tripped, and I went flying.
And is it where can the horse see when it's running? What can it see?
Oh, horses go like they can see like to their side. But the horse, like the eyes are like a little bit on the side, so they're aware of horses coming behind.
Mm-hmm.
They can look backwards. That's the only thing.
And is it only man horses that run or female horses?
Female
run?
horses.
Really?
Yeah.
Only female?
Only female horses. You can run like you can mix each other. You can, but that's not very common. But fillies run with the fillies. Males run with the males, but we have equality in the sport, so a female can run with the guys.
So like in the Kentucky Derby, move this a little closer if you don't mind. In the Kentucky Derby, like is it men in that race? Is it male horses or female horses, or it's both? I don't know, you got to get out of here.
It's both. It's both. I think one female horse won the Kentucky Derby.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember what's the name of the horse, but yeah, a female. It's not very common, but like, they can run. There's no restrictions whatsoever for a female horse not to enter. You just have to qualify. If you're good enough to qualify, you can run.
So more commonly, a lot of the horses that you ride are male horses?
I know, both.
It's
Both, yeah.
Do you notice a difference in the horses?
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, the girls are more feisty. You have to treat them different.
I knew it!
You have to treat them different.
I freaking knew it, dude.
Oh, they're so...
You got to take them to the movies.
Oh, you have to be so
that.
kind and nice to them,
Open the door.
Yep, yeah. They're more... Yeah, you have to be
They'll stand outside of the stable just waiting for you to open the door to it.
Yeah.
Dang,
they're so different. So different.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a lot of luck with fillies, with female horses.
Really? A lot of what, fillies?
Luck. They tend to run really well for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe they like you, huh?
Yes.
I can see it. I can see it, man.
Yeah.
Handsome guy. I could see it. Winning colors, genuine risk, and regret.
Yeah.
The only fillies to win the Kentucky Derby. It doesn't look like any female jockeys have won.
No, they haven't won.
Wow.
I don't think there's a female jockey.
Nick, did you have something else that kind of popped up?
Just with like the gambling, like how there's always such a heavy favorite. Where are they getting that information from? What is that based off of? Because the horses don't have a ton of history behind them, from what I understand. They race for like a year or two. So like, how do they know who's the favorite? And I get
we have like they have the past performances. You can see, for example, or they record the workouts as well. So if a horse is working in good times, so that tend to be or how they doing it. There's cameras filming them in the mornings, how they're working and things like that.
Yeah.
And is all that available to the public you want to research?
Yeah, that's available. You
Max
buy
preps, dude.
there is people there is like the hardcore handicappers, the hardcore gamblers. That you buy this book and you study this book and you can see the past performance, what they have all kinds of descriptions, what the horse did, if he got in any kind of trouble, if he broke leg from the gate. They has all kinds of things,
Dang.
Speed figures and all this type of thing. It goes too crazy. Yeah.
And can a horse spit? Do they spit? What
I don't think so. No, I don't think. Those are like llamas, I think. No?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Could you see yourself venturing out and getting on the back of a different animal? You ever think about it?
I would choose like make a switch. No,
like as time goes on, maybe when the horsing days are over, maybe getting on what's the one? Sometimes they put kids on the thing, the little
no,
they do it at the rodeo.
No, I think
the sheep or something.
Once I retire,
the kids just like this. And he goes off.
Once I retire, I think I'm gonna choose to stay focus on my family, because like horse racing, the only like different about that is like we are all year round. No breaks. No breaks for us, And no breaks is not that you can't take up I can say, you know what, I want to take a month off. But the thing is that like I cannot afford to do that, because if you're doing good, you need to keep that business. You need to keep that business because the moment you're gone, there's somebody else that is going to be riding those horses.
It's like podcasting, man. In some ways, I think it's like any business. You know, you want to stick it with it while you can.
Yeah, and if you're doing bad, then you have to stay there every day to somehow
to get better.
To get better.
I know.
To get some.
And that's.
I'll probably put my kid in that.
Yeah, it'd be fun, huh? Could you imagine how fun that is if you're a kid? Because you're probably not going to get that hurt.
Yeah.
And you're just the crowd loves it when those kids come out.
That'll probably be really fun.
I could do that. I could see myself doing that. It looks so warm too.
So fluffy.
Yeah. That looks like Brendan's kid a little bit, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It really does. Here's a question right here from a young man. I believe he sent in a question before. I feel like this fella, I've seen him, but it's nice to see him again.
What's up, Theo? It's my birthday, so I wanted to send in a little question for your little equine piggyback fella you got there. When I went to a horse race, I did a little betting, so I was wondering if maybe the jockeys got in on that and maybe talking to the friend, hey, I'm going to beat you, I bet you $10. Or maybe, maybe they just talk shit all the time when they're up there in them horses. So, dang.
Thank you, brother. Happy birthday, man.
That's a good question.
Is there any Greg Williamsing going on? There's any cross betting amongst the group? You guys do any?
No, we don't cross bet, but we're like we're so competitive with each other because that's another thing. Like us jockeys, we're freelancers. We don't make money. We don't if you really want to make good money, you have to be winning.
Really?
That's the only time, That's the only time you really make money, winning, Like say if I ride 5 horses in a week and I finish last in all of them, I'll probably get
what do they get
$600.
Okay, so you get a small amount for racing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you win,
then you get percentage of the purse.
Like say Kentucky Derby, so that horse won.
Yeah, I get 10% of whatever that horse made.
Okay. What did that horse make? Let's look it up.
Maybe like 1.6 million probably.
So you get 160,000 or whatever. You get a 10%. Mm-hmm. And now is that on any race you win?
10%.
You get 10% of the purse.
10% of the purse, yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. So so it's really on you. You got to get out there and do it, huh?
Yeah. You had to get. So to ask that question, there is like because it's a lot of competition between us riders, I can be like, I bet you $10 I beat you in this race, that type of thing.
Right. Is there some riders that are just like all ego and just maniacs?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, there is a lot of fights. There is all kinds of, like if somebody cuts you off in front, like, we have fights, we have all kinds. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious, dude.
It's really hilarious.
What's a purse? So the Derby is 1.8 million, so that's a huge payday. But what's you're doing these races weekly? What are the purse on
regular
that?
Iberias is like from I think $25,000 purse. Here is the lowest one, and then it goes up to in a regular day it goes to $65,000, $70,000.
And so if you have 4 races today, right? Say you have 4 races today, and if the average race is a $40,000 race for the day, so if you won all 4 of them, then you could make $40,000 then. Right? Is that right?
No.
4,000 times 16. You can make around 16,000.
Something like that.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Day, yeah.
And does all their money come from the betting?
Yeah, the racetrack. I think the betting, the racetrack puts up that money.
Mm-hmm.
The racetrack puts the purse money. And so no, actually, it doesn't come from the racetrack keeps all the money. All the betting money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the racetrack does put the purse.
Yeah,
but the purse don't necessarily come from the bettings. Because otherwise we'll get a percent of betting, and it will be probably much better for us.
Yeah, you get that pay-per-view money then.
Yeah.
So then, where you guys' money comes from? What, the entry fees? You think, or something?
Who knows? I really don't know that part of it. But somehow the racetrack puts up that money.
I think it's
share of it.
A share of the gambling. It's not all the gambling money is the purse, but
they probably take a part from there, But like I said, but they don't share the.
Right, they're not sharing all of it. They never are, dude.
So
they never are. And they're people paying for parking. You ain't getting a share of that. There's a lot of things. Limonada, you ain't getting a share of that.
Michelada.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you're not getting a share of.
Yeah, so
Wow, Mario, I'm just trying to think of any other thing that really...
anything, bro. Anything.
So now, when would you switch hands with the whip? Does that matter?
Yeah, sometimes, it matters because some horses like it better, or sometimes when, the horse is still trying, but you need that little extra push, you all of a sudden touch them from the other side, they get a little bit, they're like a little extra kick, extra push, so all those little, tight. But now we go into super little details, that little details matter, Sometimes if you move a little bit too early, you're not gonna be able to get there, or you get there too late, or you move too soon, and then you don't get there enough at the same time.
It's so interesting because a car, like a race car, you have an amount of gas that everything is so finite.
Yes.
But with a horse, it's like kind of. You don't really know, so there's this.
But that's our job. That's why we have to know.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't know if we don't have if that horse give us all mid race. There's nothing we can do. But
So sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just get on a horse mid race.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, yes.
Or you don't. Or sometimes you don't work with the horses in advance.
Yeah. No. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just get you choose that day. You choose riding that, or somebody put you on a horse that you never ridden, that you never have even training, so now it's our job to try to figure it out in 10 minutes, what that horse is like, or even through the race, try to manage to see, okay, how is this horse, am I still having something, is this horse still have something, it's gonna have something for the end, all of that, we have to be able to tell,
Did you, when you chose your wife, did you choose a smaller woman because you want to make another jockey kind of?
No, my wife is tall.
She is?
Actually, all my
Canadians are tall.
Yeah, all my girlfriends. I don't think I ever have had a girlfriend like as shorter or the same height as me.
Yeah, I like the
long
ones.
I like big girls. Taller girls.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah, big difference. Huge difference, yeah. English, yeah.
Any other good questions that came in, Nick, from the videos?
You said it's when your body tells you how you feeling, how long do you plan on going?
Personally, my goal is just to do this another 6 years.
Till 40?
Yeah, till 40, and that's it. Like I said, you sacrifice a lot, like you're always traveling, and like my wife, it's very hard to make friends, because like friends usually do things on the weekend when I'm riding, right? So even if my wife, hey, let's make plans, like this all there, I'm never available for those type of things. Even for my kid, I can't be just a part of the community of his school, or I'm not available for those things, So it's a lot. This is the type of things that I know I'm sacrificing right now. That's why I want to try to give my all. By the time I reach 40, I want to be able to have something where I can lay back and be able to live off that and just be with my family.
Yeah. How often do you get to... So you live here in Los Angeles?
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you get to be at home then?
Right now,
most of it Santa Anita?
Yeah, most of it in Santa Anita. But then, like I said, we go to San Diego, then back to Orange County. There is another racetrack in Orange County.
Yeah.
But this is local. So locally, we're moving a lot, right? But then before COVID, I ride for this guy that owns a lot of horses. So usually he gets good horses. When you get a good horse, you don't necessarily compete just here at Santa Anita. If there is a big race in Louisiana or Kentucky or New York, Miami, you travel to these places, So it's a lot of traveling going on,
That's cool, man. Is there one place that's not is it fun to race in Louisiana? Is it fun to race in Miami? Is it like the place that's really kind of cool to race? Miami seems like real beautiful. And cool.
Miami is cool. I like going to Dubai. Dubai is good.
Dubai?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Dubai is cool.
What is it about it?
It's like too extravagant,
Right.
It's like rich.
People eating gold.
Basically, yeah. The racetrack is
people eating other people.
I think it costs like $2 billion to be the racetrack. There is the hotel you can watch the race. Oh, it's just beautiful.
It's fancy, huh?
Mm-hmm. And a lot of money too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's crazy to me how much money some people have.
I know, me too.
Isn't it crazy?
What are they gonna do with it? I mean, you're not gonna live eternally.
Yeah. It seems so crazy. And then you would see other people be poor. It just is crazy to me sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you really realize when you, I remember I was very poor, we were struggling, a lot. But all the way up to maybe 12, 13 years old,
Yeah,
like
you don't know.
that never really occurred to me. I was happy. I was laughing. I know my mom loved me.
Yeah.
It's just my dad loved us, like, yeah, we know that we didn't, because you were aware of things that you don't have, we didn't have TV, but like, that wasn't like something to be depressed about. I think that the older you get, even now, like sometimes I feel guilt, or I try to think what my parent, because now I'm a parent, my kid, and we're going to, to the store, or we're going to this, and my kid, I want that, or I want this, and for me to be able to provide for him, and kind of like whatever he wants, I buy him, and then to think, geez, what, like, I remember me as a kid, when I was a kid, asking for things, but I never got any.
Yeah.
I never got any. So I now I go back and be like, how hard, I will feel right now if my kid is asking me for something, and it just don't have it on my pocket. It will break your heart, so I give it to my dad for that, I mean, that probably was one of the hardest part for a parent to be able to give something that a kid is asking for,
Oh, yeah, I bet, man. Yeah, I remember some of the gifts we would get even growing up were just like regular shit. I remember my mom gave us something one time that we already had at home. She just wrapped it up.
Oh, really? Listen to me.
We have, this is ours.
I have a little bit of a sad story, funny story. I tell people sometimes now. I always used to write to Santa. Freaking Santa never got me anything, right? So well, yeah. I probably was around like 8 years old, and I was writing to Santa, and I don't know what I was asking for, but I know he didn't give me what I asked for, and then but I remember writing, put in the car, and then the next day woke up and a present was there, so I was like, holy shit, it worked. Like, he didn't forget me this year, you know. So I'm all excited. I go unwrap the present, and I remember I had like this little soldier, and I think I asked for a remote control car or something like that. And I was so mad. I was so pissed off. I was like, this is, how can you got it wrong? And I was like, unbelievable. You never came, and when you came, you give me the wrong thing. You didn't even give me what I asked for, And I was like making this huge tantrum, and I didn't throw anything about it, until now that I'm an adult. I'd be like, like my dad probably bust his ass to be able to provide that thing, and for me to be able to, that kind of breaks my heart a little bit when I think about that.
Yeah, it's hard to fit. It's hard. Sometimes it's weird to think how what parents want for their kid, and then how kids sometimes are just unappreciative. But there's nothing you can do. You're just a kid. You don't know any better.
You don't know. When you're a kid, you don't know any better.
And sometimes it's like a clue. My mom would give us a sort of be like, "Hey, you should join the military." Okay, I guess I see the only way out.
Prepping you already.
Yeah, just prepping you.
Yeah.
So cool. I think, man, dude, Mario, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, dude. I really appreciate you coming in and just talking to us. It's so interesting. Just think about it. Your mother never whooped you? Come on. Or your daddy never whooped you? I don't know. I don't know, man. Dude, I grew up with a lot. I just had so much anxiety, man. Everything. Man, I don't talk about anxiety that much. And I think because some of my anxiety has gone away from once I got in the AA program, or I started finding recovery for myself or seeking out forms to make myself feel better. But dude, I had anxiousness as a child. I had anxiety. And I think part of the reason I had so much anxiety as a child was because I was breastfed on A cups. My mother had them baby A's, When it came time for, on them Titas, my mom had them A coops, them baby A cups. And for a baby, when you're trying to breastfeed, when you're a baby and you're breastfeeding, I don't know if there's anything more anxious looking than a baby trying to breastfeed off an A cup. Because you're trying to get all that leche, you're trying to hit that, just straight up catch that DNA, that DNA, you're trying to catch that, just jowl up with that milky offset. And you can't get enough of, you can't get it. You're trying to rattle that milk out of a little A cup. Come on. And that's just as a baby, you just trying to rattle that A cup. But I don't care how much you rattle, there ain't enough, there ain't much, there ain't much sauce in that dish. If your mom got them small breasts, and look, I love my mother, and I'm not discrediting her. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with my mother at all. I respect my mother's body. It was a beautiful body. My mother's always taken care of her body, and I've always thought that my mother was a beautiful woman. But damn, boy, when you're a child and you're trying to rattle some milk out of an A cup, that's like trying to beat a couple sips of, a punch out of an empty Capri Sun sack. Come on. Can you do it? And that rattle, what I'm saying is that rattle, as a baby, that rattle never leaves your body. That shaking, rattling, just, beating your hands against a small A cup breast, trying to get a sip of, that body guava. That never leaves you. And so I no joke, I have a theory that a lot of my anxiety and a lot of anxiety out there comes from children who were raised and breastfed off them small A-cup breasts. Because you never forget that. Just that constant, but nothing, very little in there. Maybe you catch a drop, when your mom leans over to look at something. Maybe you catch a quarter gram in the back of your throat. But very little in them A-cups. Very, very little. And that rattle, that desperation never really leaves you the uncomfort. Because as a baby, you're really putting yourself out there when you think about it. When you're sucking on a breast or a teddy, some people call them teddies, especially like if you're in Scotland. They're like, oh, look at the teddies on the, if you are, if you're gumming up on a breast or a teat or a teddy, then you're putting yourself out there, as a baby. As a baby, you're putting yourself out there, man. Because, other babies might be around, they might be relaxing. Maybe the dog is in the room, maybe your dad's in the room or a sibling. And you're going to just it's not like you're waiting by a microwave. You're sucking on that heater when you're breastfeeding as a baby. You know what I'm saying? You just putting your face and just taking all the chances. That's exposing yourself. That's putting yourself out there. Just sucking to stay alive. And the fact that nothing might come out, and that's embarrassing. Then people got to look around and see your cheeks ain't filling up. And I think I went through a lot of that. And my brother had also gotten to my mother's breast before me. He was older than me, and he was born before me, and he breastfed before me. And I even remember one time when I vaguely remember this, and some of this memory is more in my bones than it is in my brain. But I vaguely remember there being my brother elbowing me off that breast, and just giving me that sharp, just that arm edge, that elbow, just giving me that fucking that natural right angle of the arm, that elbow, and just, nudging me off that tatat, nudging me right off mama's tatat. And taking that, maybe catching a couple, whatever last grams of milk was in there. And leaving me off that leche. And it's just tough. And so I think a lot of my anxiety started then. And some people, you may, and it makes sense. It just makes such sense, the struggle. Because here's the other thing. The other babies was these fatty babies. And they over there with their long eyelashes because they got a lot of milk in them. And the milk is making, parts of their body grow. And they got strong bones and they got they might have an ankle. Weighs, each one of their ankles now weighs a couple ounces probably. Because they're boning up. Their body's marrowing up. Because they converting that milk. And they looking all fat and unconscious. One baby had passed out and a lot of milk had drooled out of his mouth and pooled up around his eye. He had that naughty white eye patch, that fat baby fucking eye patch when that milk, they're sleeping at such an angle where the milk rolls out of their mouth and just pools up in their eye, around their eye, on top of their closed eyelid. and they got that fucking leche eye patch, you know? And you're like, damn, that fat fucker. He have so much milk over by him. He doing tricks with it. He's doing stunts. This motherfucker over here, David Blaine, and under his fucking milk, sleeping under half an ounce. And I'm out here just fighting for every damn drippity drap. I'm just saying that is the struggle when your mother got a small breast and you trying to get that natural body sauce out of it. You trying to get that, you know, that nurture that you trying to get fed, and that anxiety never leaves you. Oh, sorry, I went off on that, but that shit bends me up a little bit. Because I think about anxiety. I think about how anxiety gets baked into you as a child. Here's another thing. I think if you was a lot of children, you get anxiety because you were conceived in a doggy style position. And a lot of people think that's crazy. And sorry, I'm having a little bit, I got me a sack of cherries. And they're good. I think these are from Washington State. Or actually Montana. Dude, everybody say different people have cherries and stuff. Go to Montana and get you a sack of them fucking hitters, boy. Mother Nature's G-spots right here, boy. These Bing cherries, come on. My daddy used to eat these at night and let me hold the pits in my hand if I was well behaved. But anyhow, what was I talking about? Oh, I think babies that were conceived in the doggy style position come out with severe anxiety because that's pressure. Imagine of course, if you're conceived in doggy style, you feel like you got to put on a show for the world, and that's baked into you. Whereas if you just that casual, just loitering, just missionary baby, and you come out all just loitering into the world, just that misionario, then yeah, you're going to have a casual lifestyle. But if you that naughty daughter that pops out of a doggy style conception, come on, you're going to be a tricky bitch out in the world because you're going to be nervous because you already feel like you have to put on a show before you've even opened your eyes or your soul to the world. So it's crazy how many things can happen, how many things can be baked into us that we don't even realize, you know? How many things can be that are just beyond us. You know, and I guess some of this stuff, I've had a wild week, man. I'm going to Nashville. I'm flying to Nashville in a couple of hours. I'm so stoked, dude. I can't, can I tell you guys? I guess I could tell you. I don't know. I'm flying to Nashville in a few hours. Fuck, now I'm keeping a secret. But it's okay. I think it's a fun secret, so it'll be cool. I'm flying to Nashville in a few hours, and and then here's what happened. So I went to therapy, man. You know, I went to therapy the other day, and I go to therapy. And I want to tell you right now, actually, and this is a great time to tell you this, actually, because I tested out this company. And this company is called BetterHelp.com. And listen to this. You don't listen to a lot of ads, that's fine. You don't want to listen to advertisements, that's fine. But this isn't an advertise. I mean, this is a company. This is an opportunity. I see it. This is professional and affordable counseling, just for mental health. You can get matched with the counselor who's right for you. I just did this. You know, they sent me this opportunity, and I was like, well, let me check it out first. So I checked it out, and I had 2 sessions with this lady named Anna, and one of them was over the phone, and one of them was over Skype, and it was good, man. It was good. It was good counseling. You get matched with the counselor who's right for you. There are 4 communication modes: text, chat, phone, and video. That's everything. Unless you want to mail each other a diorama or something. You can start communicating in under 24 hours. You must be 18 years old. It's available worldwide. BetterHelp.com/Theo, Theo. That's BetterHelp.com/Theo. It's proactive mental health. This isn't a crisis line. This isn't a crisis. This isn't, you about to jump off a building. Don't call these people. Call somebody else. Call your boy with a ladder. Call the, call the 911. But this is available on desktop, mobile, Android, and iOS. And it's a therapist. It's counseling. This is a chance. You never spoken to a counselor? Fucking try it out. Or if you have, and the one you have didn't work, or you're in a small town, and you're afraid to talk to somebody. Look, talk to somebody. My life got better when I started talking to someone. It really did. And that's betterhelp.com/Theo, Theo. Check it out if you want to. And I say it because I checked it out. And it was good. And I'm probably going to continue some of my sessions. I see a therapist in real life. But this was just a different way. And because here's the thing. Sometimes you don't know how things are going to react to you. Some people like to be chefs and some people just like to eat. Some people like to just fucking walk through the supermarket and look at ingredients and then starve to death. People relate to things different ways and we use things different ways. And so if you don't have access to a therapist or a therapist in person didn't work for you, try this out. betterhelp.com/Theo, Theo, and check it out. What else? And we have our hotline. You can always call 985-664-9503. And that's also not a line where if you're jumping off a building, that's just a line if you want to be part of the show, you want to communicate about what we're talking about or anything, you can let us know. You also can leave videos online we have the fan line link. If you want to if you want to send in a video that can be part of our show, send it in. It's through the live raise. You can send it in and we'll make it, and we'll make some of those part of the show. And we'll put that link as well. That's live raise for video question submissions. And you can see those on YouTube as well. What else is going on, man? Oh, so I went and got therapy, man, And, dude, I remember first time I got therapy, I was 22. And I hitchhiked up there to South Carolina to Charleston. And I found myself on my ex-girlfriend's porch petting somebody's cat. And I didn't know whose cat it was, and I didn't really know who I was. And so the next day I said, fuck, I got to go see a mental health therapist because this isn't right. You don't hitchhike that far to go, touch a little bit of puss, but you don't know whose it is, and it's on somebody's porch, and it's an animal. And so I had to tighten up. I had to G up, and that's the first time I ever went to see a mental health therapist. And this isn't part of the BetterHelp thing anymore. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about my own life. But I went this past week to talk, and man, it just, I still got a lot of work to do on myself. And that's okay. It doesn't mean I'm going to be hard on myself all the time and I'm not going to enjoy myself. I went to the beach this morning, dude. I went out there to a meeting, but one of the cool things about Los Angeles is they have these cool meetings you can go to, and sometimes they're in unique places. And this one was on the beach. So I'm out there in this kind of self-help group. Everybody's sitting out there listening to each other and bullshitting. And they had a couple of straight-up lurkers out there, I think, honestly, peeking over at my shoulders and looking at my, because I got nice shoulders, and I've always had, I think, honestly, some of the nicest clavicles in town, boy. I got the fucking baby back. My clavicles look fucking sexy, like a couple of baby back ribs snuck away up by my neck. And I've always had nice clavicles. And I even remember when I would take my shirt off as a child by the pool. And some of the female camp counselors would just be like, damn, look at the vickles on that boy. Because I got them fucking clavicles, I'm that upper skeletal echelon bad boy. I'm that fucking puff daddy of clavies. You feel me? I break them things out. People are like, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't. We looking at his bones. He bad bones for life. I got them up top hitters, And you got to find out what features of yours are nice, But anyway, I was out at that meeting, and then afterwards, I'm out at the beach, and I went in the water. And there's something, dude. There is something I'll say. And look, I've been in the ocean 3 times in the past 3 weeks, and it's feeling good. I'm feeling real grateful. I was thinking about, and let me know how this episode let me know if this episode is any different than other episodes, if anybody noticed something. Because I'm recording this episode way earlier in the day than I usually do. So I'm starting to wonder if there's a time of day where I'm just can be more in tune with what's going on and can just communicate better. But anyhow, I got out in that water, dude. I was thinking about this. So, we've been talking a lot recently, about like, if you pass away, afterlife and that kind of thing. And that's been milling around. And I'm thinking that, so I might have already talked about this. We're 90% water or 78% or 98% or something. Whatever, dude. All I'm saying is that we got a lot of water in us, a lot. And the cool thing about water is, if you just look at water and how it works in our ecosystem here on Earth, and our, from our solar system down to our ecosystem, water comes in from the clouds, precipitation, it falls down. If it gets, some of it evaporates back up, and sometimes it comes back down. Some of it joins a part of something real cool, like a river or a lake or a bird bath. Dude, a lot of lakes act like they're the shit. How about a fucking bird bath, dog? You know what I'm saying? That front yard baby lake. That's that real, bad boy body of water. Is that bird bath, boy. That fucking stationary, aviary, fucking wash up. Because a bird bath, it's like, hey, I'm a lake, I'm fucking on a pedestal. Other lakes, they gotta be over here and they got fish in them and shit. Bird baths like, I'm up here, I'm lifted up, I'm up in this little stone piece. I'm set into this dealio. Man, a bird bath, that thing flexes. And then here's the thing about a bird bath. It's got birds stopping by. What other other lakes, a lot of lakes and stuff, birds pass by, steal a fish. You ever see that shit? You ever see a bird just steal a fish from a lake? And a lake can't do anything. A lake don't have a lot of weapons because the weapon was rain. That's really its weapon. And then a lake is just the aftermath of water weaponry. And damn, a bird come through and just fucking steal your fish, boy. Gang. And a lake can't just throw a fucking wave up and slap a bird out. So I think lakes need more training. Maybe lakes could do some Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something. But a bird bath, dude, that's that fucking, that's just like a damn, that's just that beautiful little spectacle. It's just that uplifted teardrop. A bird bath, damn. That's the elite. That's the elite of local water stuff, waterness. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I don't even know what I'm talking about, dude. I got to quit going off on tangents. Oh, but I got out in the water. And here's what I was thinking about us, about life. So we're 98% water or something, or we're 98.6 degrees or something, and we're also in sync and Boys to Men and the Backstreet Boys, and we are Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. Anyway, we're made out of a lot of water. And water is part of this beautiful cycle. And so that's why I'm thinking, man, we have to be part of a beautiful cycle. The clue is the water. Think about how much water is in you. Dude, if you get sad, water comes out of your fucking eyes, bruh. Have you ever thought about that? When you get sad, water, it's like, oh man, I ain't hanging out in here anymore. This motherfucker's sad. I'm getting out of this motherfucker. And water starts looking for somewhere else to be. That's why you got to stay happy, man. You got to make your water happy and keep your water. Because happy water stays in you. It mills around. It helps you out. It helps process things in your body and keep you feeling good and keep your mouth wet. But once you start getting all sad and bally, no, I didn't do, and he took half my butterfinger and and the government, and I didn't. Once you start blaming others and crying and whining, that's when your water's like, I'm out of here. I'm leaving your body because you fucking that. And I'm going to find somewhere else more magical to be. And that's what happens. But the beautiful thing about water is it's part of that cycle. And we're so much made of water, it'd be hard to believe that we're not part of a really cool cycle. We come down here onto the planet. We get to do cool stuff. Sometimes you're part of something neat. Sometimes you're part of not something neat. And then you get brought back up into a higher being, into the world, into the clouds, into a heaven, into a beautiful place. And then you come back down. And you out here just getting washed through the system. That's a dude, it might take a little bit of imagination. Yeah, there's not any science to prove that. But dude, one fucking big whoosh of a wave, or one big whoosh of a shooting star hits us, and all y'all's science ain't shit anyway. I mean, science just came out of an idea. So what I'm saying is this: the idea could be that we get stuck in that. You're part of that water. You die, your water goes back into the earth, starts a plant. Sometimes you see water gets caught on a leaf. The rain will come, water will get caught on a leaf, and then that water evaporates. But no matter what, the core makeup of all of us and of our whole planet, which is water, goes back. It's recycled. Man, come on. Give us a harder question than how do we all fit into the same thing? Give us a harder question, because we out here, and maybe the Lord, or the higher powers that be, they're out there, the ones just, they got the spigot, they running that spigot, more or less, and they running that waterway. They that captain, they're that drip drip captain. So, all right, I'll tell you guys. I'm going, and I'm nervous, bruh. Fuck, people are going to laugh at me. I'm going to Nashville tonight, and I'm going to be in a music video. And it's for a band that we all know and love called Bishop Gunn. So, I don't know if I should have told you guys or not, because I wanted to surprise you. Dude, I'm not good with surprises. Somebody tell me something, they're like, don't tell anybody. I'm like, all right, I won't say a thing. Then I'll turn around and I'll be like, Leonard's got epilepsy. And people are like, Leonard's like, fuck, man. I just told you. You said you wouldn't say nothing. And I'll be like, I didn't say nothing, Leonard. So something's wrong with me when it comes to that sort of thing, sometimes. If it's a sad secret or something, epilepsy, I think that's just kind of a, your body's suddenly like, hey, I'm going to the fucking discotheque. I don't care what you do. But I think that, I wouldn't share something that was really going to really be sad or hurt somebody's feelings. I think epilepsy, we all got something. You know what I'm saying? I might have cardiac arrest just kind of milling around in my body until it's ready to strike me down. But dude, so yeah, I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm just nervous because I don't think of myself like as being look, there's beauty in it because one of the band members, a lot of you guys I've talked about it. His father was a friend of mine. He passed away due to alcoholism. And, and I don't say that to shame him. I say that, I love my friend and I miss him. But he took me into his home during my summers when I was in college at Louisiana State and at Loyola University. And he took me into his home and let me work on his farm. His family had a farm. And his dad was very old and my dad was very old. And so we connected. Well, one of his sons was a 3-year-old. Well, now the son is in the band Bishop Gunn. And I've known the family for years. I mean, I've no joke. I've spent the last, 7 Christmas Eves at their home. And I love them. I love the boys. My buddy had 3 sons, and I love his sons. I love him because he can't love them. I mean, he loves them, but he got evaporated and he's coming back. But anyway, so now one of the boys, their band is Bishop Gunn, and they're just a music band. But anyway, I'm happy because now I get to be in the video, and I know that the dad who loved music, it'll give him, he'll be doing epilepsy in his in his grave, man. He'll be thinking about us, I know. So that's just fun, man. That's exciting. And it's just so cool. Like Bishop Gunn was in Macon, Georgia this week, and there was some this past weekenders came out and checked it out, man. And that kind of stuff. I'm just happy to be part of doing some cool stuff. And we're gonna do so much neat stuff, dude, and we're gonna do this shit together. And I'm excited. I really am. You know, we had a single mom come out in last week. We might do one in Chicago. We're still putting together the piece from last week. We got some production groups that are going to start meeting up with us in different cities and helping us make some of the videos better. So that's going to be cool. And dude, I want to do that game show with that with a cleaning woman, you know, a maid, a hotel maid, where we just surprise her with that game show. So going to start thinking about how we can make that a truth, but we're definitely going to try it. I'm just worried about, you know, if somebody pops out of a fucking closet and this cleaning lady pulls out a straight shank. Because a lot of these Lysol ladies been through some fucking real, you know what I'm saying? They've been, you know, they ain't from Connecticut, you know, they're not from Connecticut. They're not from, they from some real, if they're from Connecticut, they're from Hartford. You know what I'm saying? They not from, East Greenwich or something. So I'm just saying that they some real ladies. But yeah, man, I went to therapy this week. And what else? Yeah, we talked about honesty last week. Just trying to get honest with myself. Yeah, I'm just trying to get honest with myself. Sometimes it's hard for me to just be myself fully. And one thing about anxiety is that it's just such a static that prevents you from feeling comfortable with the world. You know, it's such an uncomfortable thing, man. When I really think back in a lot of like going to clubs and that sort of thing and just the uncomfort I would feel. But I felt this pressure like, I got to be there. Eventually I'll feel comfortable and I'll seem okay. And everybody will be like, oh, he's okay. He's fine. But that never really happened. I would just be at some of these places and just be uncomfortable. And just trying my hardest to fucking look comfortable. That shit was hilarious. I'm like, I'll hold this drink. I'll adjust my shirt. I'll put one of my hands in my pocket. I'll put two of my hands in my pocket. I'll put my drink in my pocket. Next thing you know, I got 2 drinks. I got a drink in each front pocket, and I got my hands in both of my back pockets. Like I'm fucking Wyatt Slurp. You know what I'm saying? Like I look like a fucking idiot, and I'm not comfortable at all. But I think I've had a lot of anxiety too in relationships, in my relationship, especially my relationship towards women, with females. I've had a lot of uncomfort over the years with that, and things that I'm just kind of realizing. Like I've always needed the approval of females constantly. And I don't know where that comes. I know it probably comes obviously from relationships with our mother when we're a kid. I get the blanket idea, I get the fabric of it. I get the interweavings of it. Or I get, I don't know how they're all connected, those weavings, but I get some of where the different yarns can be from my mother, from my grandmother, from me, and, from that environment. But man, I need the approval of women, or I need to feel okay to females, really I need to feel okay to myself, but the thing that's how I end up feeling okay, that runs through females. If they see me or they recognize that I'm alive or they acknowledge me that I'm okay. And that's just been a constant thing in my life. And even when I had a girlfriend, I still, I would need the constant approval of other females. Just even it could be the smallest ways. But I want to just be approval. I want to feel okay just being myself, Look, I want to have a wife and stuff one day, but I want to feel okay in the meantime just being myself. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of wandering off on some ideas. We got a bunch of calls that came in. We'll get to some of those in just a second. I'll tell you that. I got to fly today. Dude, here's who I don't like on the plane, okay? Be a better air buddy. Don't be this person. The person that keeps their freaking window open when everybody else's window is closed. How you going to keep your fucking window open? What are you looking at? You at 37,000 feet. What you peeking around at? You fucking peeping air, Tom? You looking at cloud tops? What are you doing? You trying to buy a Care Bear? What are you looking for? Close your dang window because the light is coming in and it's ruining everybody else's air experience. Everybody trying to fucking rest, you know? You got this guy, usually there's like an Asian guy, he sleeps like this. He makes his own, you know. You got that, you know, you have a kind of a Rubenesque kind of black lady, and she got on 5 of those, you know, those sultry, silky face shades, you know. You got the old white guy, and he got his mouth just, you know. You got a child, and they beating a fucking drum, both their parents unconscious, and somebody gave a child a fucking drum on a plane. What the fuck? You know when a child gets a drum? Never, bruh. Never. Except when they in the war and they got to send a little child out there with a drum and that child gets popped off. You know what I'm saying? But that's the sacrifice that they make. You know, one love. But you don't ever give a child a fucking drum, you idiot. And then everybody trying to get their rest. Even the pilots up there resting, you know. They got co-pilots, so they resting on each other, the two of them. Everybody's sleeping. The cart lady, she coming down, he's sleeping. You know, the cart guy, he's sleeping. Everybody resting, and then one motherfucker got to leave their window up. And that shit ruins everybody. Know how to do air travel. Shut your window, you freaking mutant. Act regular. And watch your life change for the better. You know what I'm talking about? Praise God. Man, but what was I talking about? Yeah, I got to fly today. So, you know, we had Jocko Willink on, and that guy is a powerhouse. He looks like he just lifts weightlifters. That's what he does for a living. Dude, if you looked for all the missing people in the world, they would be in his muscles. That man I'm surprised they don't stop him at the border and check his muscles for illegal aliens. Because that man, he got some cartels on his body. I'm surprised his bones haven't filed complaints from the weight they'd have. I mean, I've never seen a man look more like a G.I. Joe. And we got to talk and just, you know, it was interesting. And, you know, I feel nervous sometimes with some of these guests. I don't want to joke around too much. Like Jordan Peterson was here. I can't joke around. Like, I can joke around some, but if I start really, you know, mucking up, you know, or yamming around, that dude's going to get upset. Or he's going to be uncomfortable. He's not going to want to be comfortable here. And so that's the thing. You got to monitor somebody else's comfort, which is fine. I want everybody to be comfortable. But yeah, being around Jocko was interesting, is inspiring. You know, I just cracked his book at home. I don't have it in front of me, but I'll bring it next time and read some of the stuff out of it. Just how to begin. That's the hardest part, dude. Even as being at the beach today, that first wave, that first couple of fucking, you know, them saltwater hitters, they coming at you. And that's Poseidon's out there trying to fucking lick on your dick right when you get out in the water, you know? Or he's out there trying to just, you know, brush his big saltwater tongue across your tits. But once you get past that first lick or something, you're good. You're comfortable. You start to get used to it. And man, the water gets warmer the more I go in there. And I feel more comfortable. Oh, I've taken these, you know, I know how to handle these waves. This okay. I can do this. What else, man? Well, let's go to a couple of calls, you know. I'll tell you some dates, and not many. I'm going to tell you one date. I'm going to tell you one date. Oh, we got the website open, theovon.com/store. We got some new gang. Get that hitter. We got a couple of dope shirts on there. And so you know that. As always, the episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza, 1811 Pico Boulevard, on the way to the beach. You know, are you Italian? You can be. Get that hitter. Let me tell you this. This right here is the date. This is the date right here. I'll be in Chicago this weekend. It's sold out. I wish I had more tickets for people, and I'm sorry. It is sold out. I'll be there at the Laugh Factory. September 14th and 15th, I'll be at Zany's in Nashville. And I have dates in Charlotte. You can go to Theo, they're live now as well. You can go to theovon.com/tour, Tour. And I lied and I gave you 3 dates, but I lied actually. I didn't do anything. Last week we talked about if you had 96,000 or something, they had a fellow inherited 98,000. You know, we came upon some life moments, you know, where people were going to leave him and left into the ether, and they're going to come back, or he's going to see them again up in the clouds. Maybe that's who that person is with their window open in the clouds. Maybe it's just some lurker up there, some heaven hunter. You know, somebody's just up there hunting heaven. Close your window. But let's hear, we had a couple of responses of what to do with that 98K. Let's hear what happened.
Hi, this is Matthew from Sonota, Florida.
Thanks for calling, Matthew. Onward.
And last week he had a caller say he had 98,000 extra dollars that he got. And he was calling to wonder what he should do with that.
Yes, he was, brother. He was asking for that that advice, them suggestions, boy, them cash suggestions. You know, what to do with that cash, man? If I got, the funny thing is, if you got that cash at different points in your life, come on. If I got that cash at about 3 months old, I'd have a dang Borden milk truck installed in my mother's chest, first of all, and I'd have about 9 extra nipples. And that's Italiano for nipples. Nipples. You ever been to Nipples, Florida? Man, them beaches are milky white. But you could get that, you know, at different times. At 2 or 3 months, I'd have that milk installed in my mother. You know, at 6 years old, I'd probably have a bunch of gum. Spend all my money on gum. I don't care, Big League Chew. A couple of packs of Garbage Pail Kids cards and some Tops or Don Russ, boy. Get that hitter, son. I'd have that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie upper deck. Let me see, if you hit me at 12 years old, I don't know what was going on, but I probably would spend a lot of my money on hair care. You know, when I was 12 years old, I used to, my God, dude, I'd go through half a can of Aquanet. I'd go through half a can, bro. And if I didn't have half a can in my hair, I wouldn't even catch the bus, son. Fuck it. I'll learn next week, dog. I ain't leaving here without my style. And dude, when you spray that Aquanet, that shit you couldn't see. Dude, that was a beautiful thing about Aquanet. You let that shit hit the air and it would cloud you up, and you could feel it fixing your hair. You know, the aqua's when you see it in the air. The net is when it gets in there and starts fixing. Just starts crab trapping up in your follicles. That's the net. And then the air would clear and you'd see how you look. Like, oh, damn, this shit is a little too MacGyver. And you just Aquanet again and just let it go. And you're like, oh, shit. This is some damn Burt Reynolds, you know? This is a little too much. And then you Aquanet again. Let that clouds disperse. And you'd be like, oh, this is just right. Now you out there Goldilocking with your hair looking beautiful. But I love that Aquanet, man. Anyway, let's hear more. What are we talking about? I don't know. Onward.
So I figured, you know, first thing you do, pay off all your debt. Let's just say that's $30,000 in debt.
Okay, you got $30,000 in debt. You down to $68,000. Let's see what you're gonna do. Move that bus.
Pay all that off. You reinvest $15,000 into your home. You know, get a new roof, new AC, new water heater, all that.
Ooh, you got that home spruced up, boy. If he says start a fire now and get that insurance money after you got that spruce up, this is gonna be just next level, boy. This shit's gonna be so Reno. Onward.
You know, put about $5,000 into your cars. You know, get them up and running again. You know, or you know, get them, you know, back to almost new. So that leaves you $48,000 extra dollars. you take $10,000, invest into a couple of CDs, take another $5,000, put in some stock. That leaves you $33,000 you still got. So, with that, give a couple thousand to your kids, put it in a, nice savings account. And then, with that extra money, I would probably invest in some, property, a couple acres, plant a bunch of pine trees on it. After about 5 years, sell those pine trees to a company that, deals in wood. And
damn, boy, you talking about Christmas treeing, dude. And just say it, man. Look, I want everybody, if you call up here, you can say whatever you want. Because this gentleman that called, whoever this gentleman is, he's going a long way to say that he wants this guy to start a Christmas tree farm. And look, you don't have to be shy around me about Christmas, buddy, because, look, there's nothing I like more in the world than Christmas. You're talking to a guy who I sing every time I go to the karaoke, I sing Rocking Around the Christmas Tree every time. Think about a time that I didn't do it. You can't think about that time because I always do it. And so to say start a Christmas tree farm, that's beautiful. Dude, Christmas trees should be year round. This seasonal Christmas stuff, come on. I think you should have Christmas in June. Back that thing up. Move that bus. You know what I'm saying? Get in there. June 12th should be damn Christmas, bruh. Or Little Christmas. Call it Little Christmas. Come on, man. We can do it. I think we can do it. Let's hear a little bit more, man, about how you really want to start a Christmas tree farm, but you don't want to admit it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you do with your money.
So there you go. He said it, man. Get your life tightened up. Get your cars tightened up. Get your microwave a new motor. Put a couple of fucking turbine engines in your fucking hair dryer. You know what I'm saying? Tighten you up. Throw 10 grand in a CD. Buy a stock. If you buy a stock, the one I recommend, Amazon, AMZN. It's at almost 1900 right now, but I believe, and I could be hella fucking wrong, bruh, so don't come back at me like that about that cash. I believe it's going to go to 3,000 this year. I believe that. Let's hear more, man. Let's take another call. What in response to the 98 grand, what should he do?
Hey, Theo. This is Riles from the City of Brotherly Love.
City of Brotherly Love. Boy, that's West Hollywood, California. Onward.
I'm just responding to Dylan's voicemail about that 98K.
Oh, yeah. He came into that fucking 98, boy. He came into that flossy papeles y verde, you feel me? He came into that flossy green pepper. Let's hear more. Onward.
No, I'm not a financial advisor, but, I'm a business extraordinaire. I do know some things about finance now. It looks like Dylan's trying to retire someday, and I would recommend for him to invest.
Yeah, everybody trying to retire, man. He ain't trying to be no sharecropper, But let's hear more, man, and thanks for calling. Sorry, I'm kind of antsy today, and I think maybe I'm being aggressive and maybe taking that on some of you guys and not being super friendly. But I'm grateful that you guys listened and that some people did call in about Dylan's stuff. And I just got to check myself. Sometimes I get kind of high energy sometimes. Let's hear more. Onward.
In the stock market. Now, I'd recommend a mutual fund or ETF or something that tracks the S&P 500. I use Vanguard and I got the, I think this total stock market index fund. And, it's a good job. I put my money in there and I basically got my money in Apple, Amazon, all these different companies, all them hitters.
You got them hitters. So he's saying, there you go. Put it into some, some long-term stuff. And I think long-term stuff's a great idea. The other gentleman mentioned real estate. I think that's a great idea as well. I think also if you can find a partner that you trust, which is, or that you do business well. It doesn't need to be a great friend, but somebody you do business well with. Start an LLC with them. And you can get, that way you go half in on a property. And that way, it's half the risk, half the reward, but it's still, you're learning how to do a property. I bought a property with a friend a long time ago. And it's been an uphill battle, but it has gained ground. And I've learned a lot about property management over the years. And it's been enjoyable, man. It's been enjoyable. During the highs and lows, it's been enjoyable. But yeah, there's some place you can put 10, 20% down and get you into a decent spot and get a little rental investment property going. And a real investment property, really, it's just a long-term place to save money, really. Let's hear more. Onward.
What? Theo, this is Mikey C. I was calling in regards to the dude who's coming up on 98 grand. First thing I do is take 8 grand of that and go on a badass vacation.
Okay, he wants that badass vacation. Where you gonna go, dude? Where are you trying to go? Gallipoli, bruh? Iwo Jima, dude? I like them war vacays, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude. I'll buy sod from Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy sod from Gettysburg. Why isn't there a company selling sod from famous battlefields? Come on.
Second part, I'll take that 90 grand. I would go to a place like Edward Jones, somewhere like that.
Edward Jones, dude. Not the old guy that we used to play for the Dallas Cowboys, huh?
And look into municipal bonds.
Oh, okay. I think Edward Jones paint. Also, or Ed Too Tall Jones. That's who I'm thinking of. Or Edward Jones, bro. This dude. We used to he had this dude that lived by us, and he was always on the swing set talking shit outside, and one day he fell off the swing set and broke all the bones in his shoulder or something, and his shirt never fit the same again, dude. And he would always try to make fake shoulder. He'd make fake shoulder inside of a shirt out of get him a little piece of styrofoam or a couple stacks of cardboard, little small stacks in there, and just make that fucking seaboard shoulder. Just make that fucking that styrofoam fucking, that ridge, baby, that upper arm ridge, that hard turn. And he put it under his shoulder. So you'd always see him. Sometime his shoulder looked normal, and then sometime it looked like, damn, he got he'd have like one of those little pints of milk under there or something carton. You're like, damn, he fucking couldn't find no styrofoam or even shape his shit up. At least for church, put in your shapiest shoulder. Damn, Edward. Come on, man. Have some respect for yourself and for the Lord. You out here shape up, man. Shift shape, son. Shift shape. At least keep a sexy styrofoam shoulder piece or something you make out of some, a little bit of putty or some fucking river clay. And keep that thing in a nice box or a case or a little, at least like in a little, double bag it. So you can break that bitch out on Sunday and stack that thing onto your broken shoulder. Because you shouldn't have been swing setting. Look, dude, when shit happens to adults and they shouldn't be doing it, children shit, get in there, boy. Something's wrong with you. You out there swing setting. Your stepdaddy choked to death on a kazoo. Well, fuck him, bruh. Stay off that kazoo, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Play a man's instrument. Or get out. Let's hear more. Sorry, man. I'm fucking damn, dude. I got real rural for a second.
Municipal bonds are basically loans taken out by municipalities, like if the airport needs some improvements, but they don't have the money on hand.
Dude, I ain't investing in the airport, dude. Some man just stole a plane the other day. Man, and I kind of felt for this dude, bro. How much, dude, that guy, I'll say this, the guy that stole the plane, he seemed like a fucking regular dude who went a little bit all in and got caught with a few cards in his hand, but then just said, well, I'm going back to heaven. Didn't it seem like that? If you listen to the conversation, they're saying, turn it around and stop it. And he's kind of worried about others. They tell him to land at the airport. He's like, are you sure I can land at that airfield? Like, is that safe? I don't even, he's like, I don't really know how to fly a plane. I mean, it's almost like he was teaching them. It's interesting because he was strategizing for himself and for others at the same time. Man, it really seemed like he was clogged up somewhere in his caring. Like his caring got clogged up. Man, caring gets clogged up. I noticed that the last week it was hard for me to care about anybody last weekend. It was just hard for me to care about anybody. And then I went to a lot of meetings. I went to some AA meetings this week. And I'm not trying to talk about or I'm not trying to push anybody into that kind of stuff, you know. But one thing those meetings do for me, I have to sit there and listen to somebody else. And man, that's the best thing I can do because I'm so tired of listening to myself, man. When my brain just runs me or thinks about me in the background and that kind of, I need to think about others. And listening to others in those meetings, it does it for me. And then it puts me in a place where I can be a little more caring. And I hope to just keep on going and get, you know, I want to just keep on, you know. It feels good, man. You know what's funny is I don't like being part of a group, I realized. Isn't that wild? Like I like it, but in my core, like the inside of me doesn't really like it. I always want to be a little separate. You know, I always want to, somebody else's idea, like, I got my idea, you know, I'll do what I'd rather, do you want to, you should join us. There's something about me, I don't want to be a part of a group, you know, or I don't, trying to think of that. Why would I not want to be it? Why would there be some uncomfort with me when it comes to being part of a group? You know, I bet somewhere along the line it attaches it with the same stuff. It's in the same fabric as why I don't like being in large groups, like outdoor at a concert or that sort of thing. And that kind of thing always makes me feel a lot of anxiety. But I wonder why even just the idea of a group or the being, you know, saying, oh, you're part of that makes me feel odd or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. But so there you go. There's some other opportunities. Municipal bonds. The gentleman said invest in the airport. Let's hear a little more from that gentleman, please. Onward.
They take out a loan and then pay that back. Basically, they take that out from the bank, and then the bank packages those up and sells them out to people so they can get more money in their pockets.
Whoa, bro. This ain't MIT, bro. You know what I'm saying? Onward.
Got all 90 grand up in there. You'd be getting $250, $300 checks every month at least.
Okay, now there he's saying, and look at me, I'm running my mouth judging, and that guy maybe gave some good advice. He's saying municipal bonds, if you put all that $90,000 into a place, you might be able to get $250, $300 a month off that money coming in at a regular dose. Get that drip, you know, get that. And that's how it was for me as a baby. You know, I look over across the way and see somebody with that $90,000 tot. You know, all nippled up. Sometimes you'd see a baby asleep and still fucking having milk. What the fuck? Bro, dude, if I wanted to get milk out of my mom's little breast, bro, out of that fucking peck, bro, that thing was just like a pectoral with a little bit of fucking drip in it. If I wanted to shake some real drip out of my mama's peck, you know, out of my mama's pectoral, out of my mom's, you know, that pectoral, then damn, bro, I had to fucking stay up. There wasn't no resting. Some of them babies just slugging down, you know, got milk pooling all out of them. Their shoulders all dyed beige, milk beige, yellow. And I'm over there just beating my little, you know, I got up both hands and both feet up on that tat, you know, up on that little, you know, my mother had that real, you know, kind of chubby pectoral. She had them small hitters, you know, it was more of a chubby pectoral. And I'm just rattling the last couple of drip draps that was made up in that, you know, that small, wide, short, flat canister. Damn. I can't even think about my own past. Let's hear more, though. Thank you for the investment advice.
And plus, at the end of those terms, which are usually up to 30 years, but you get all that money back.
Yeah, bro, but 30 years, what if something happened to him in 30 years? What if he gets hit by lightning and now they got his money at the airport? You know? How is children going to go over there? They're supposed to show up where? Delta? Where? United? And ask for that loot? Come on.
And most of the times they appreciate as well.
Yeah, they appreciate it. You just gave them fucking $90,000. So, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but 30 years to get your cash back from the government?
One other thing I would do is if you're going to go with municipal bonds, get them set up into a fund or buy into a fund. Basically, that's something that has a bunch of municipal bonds in together.
Oh, man. A fund, huh? There you go. More advice. And I'm not discrediting you. I appreciate your call, man. I guess I'm being kind of rude today. And I'm sorry, man. I appreciate your call. And he's saying municipal bonds,
That way,
bro.
if one of those municipalities do default on their loan, you're not losing the farm. So I think that's a good conservative way to invest the money. Sounds like he was a happy dude already. So, why go buy a sports car and shit like that? It's just material bullshit, man. Why not have some savings for the future and get paid a little bit each month?
Wow. And look, I just listened to the end, and that guy gave great advice. And here I am out here fucking eating these dirty cherries. I forgot to wash this sack of them and just talking shit. So I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at today. I'm not doing super great, but I am doing good. I'm just being loud. But thank you for that. And if you, there's some advice. There's some good stuff in there. And a lot of that stuff was long term. Invest, save. Maybe floss a little, take a little vacation, do something fun, and plan for your future. Don't be an unruly bastard. Speaking of unruly bastards, we have a board game that we're going to be talking about from them in the coming weeks. That's pretty dope. Let's take some calls, man. We got some calls right here that just popped in. I haven't heard any of them, so we're just going to rifle through some of them. Here we go.
Yo, what's up, Theo? This is Roy from San Antonio, Texas.
What's up, Roy from San Antonio, man? Thank you for calling. I spent a night in San Antonio one time. My car broke down. I was at a gas station out there, and I watched a bunch of people get into a fight. Well, I watched about 4 fights it was over about 7 hours. So 4 different fights. It was kind of like Bellator almost out there. It was like early Bellator, but like in a parking lot. But I also spent, I went there another time and spent a night there on the river, down on the riverfront. It's a beautiful city, beautiful people. Onward, let's hear more.
But I now live in Los Angeles. Caught your show last.
I want to hear them cops in the background, boy. Hopefully this is you might think this is a bail bondsman. Roy might be calling that bail bondsman. That bail bondsman on accident. Let's hear more.
Ice House. Caught your show last night at the Ice House.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for coming out to that, man. That was so much fun. That was such a fun show. And that was last week. Onward.
Me and my girl went, and damn, dog, it was such a cool thing to see you get up there and the owner come out and acknowledge you and give you that bottle that you can't fucking drink. I mean, he said he's only been up there 11 times in the last 40 years. First time he did it was Robin Williams, and the last time he did it was Sebastian. It's a little bit fucking mind-blowing, bro. Me and my girl are in the crowd fucking holding back tears, man. We were so happy for you, man. So proud of you.
Thanks, man. That's nice of you to say. It means a lot. This is nice because, a guy willing to call up and say what he feels or thinks or talk about a moment. I think we need more stuff like that in the world. Yeah, thanks, Roy. I appreciate that. That's sweet. And thank you for bringing your lady out and taking, investing some time in you and your lady going out and having a nice evening together. I know that means a lot for couples and it's important and it's sweet that you guys did that. Yeah, it was cool. It's been such a busy week, man. I haven't had as much time as I should have probably to think about that. The owner from the Ice House, his name is Bob Fisher, and he got up there at the end of the show, and I didn't know he was going to do this. And I think we got some video that they sent us, and we'll see about maybe putting it up. I just don't want to be, egotistical about it. But yeah, he got up on stage and he said, "Hey, here's a bottle of Dom Perignon." And I thought, dude, I thought Dom Perignon, I thought that was Down syndrome in France. I thought it was just that, like a rare European disease. But when I was young, now I don't. I know it's a liquor wine. And so he got up there and he gave me this bottle and he said, I've only gotten up here 11 times. And the first time was Robin Williams and the last time was Sebastian Maniscalco. And I just want to present you with this bottle. And it was just, Let me think about what it was like. Let's hear some more of your thoughts, man. And this is sweet of you to call and think of me, man. I do appreciate it.
I remember just fucking screaming, gang, gang.
Gang, gang, boy. You know, that's cool. There you go, then. That makes me feel good. Yeah, when you just said that made me feel good, man. Yeah, because I want to do, like, I'm grateful that he came up and gave me that. You know, it makes me feel good as a person, but I'm so tired sometimes of just feeling, I don't know. Like if I just want to be a part of something like, man, this is crazy now because now I'm realizing I just want to be a part of something bigger than myself. You know, I just want to be a part of like a group, like, or I just want us all. I want us all to feel good, and I want to be, you know, I want to just, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's funny. You work hard to have some individual achievement or to stand out. But the only reason I ever like tried to stand out in the first place probably was because the only reason I tried to stand out in the first place was because I just wanted it. I probably just wanted to be seen, you know, but not be seen like, oh, look at me. I just wanted to feel like I was like recognized. I don't know. I can't explain what I'm trying to say. Maybe I just wanted to be accepted, you know? And since I didn't feel that way, then I had to stand out, or I had to not stand out, but act out, or, you know, try and get attention. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I do. I'm just saying thank you. And yeah, I feel like, dude, you know, if my life, dude, I hope I pray that I get 1 million more fun stories that I can tell. You know, and that, you know, that I can share those with everybody and make people feel good, and that I can take care of myself and just be, you know, and help us feel good, man. And that you and your girl can come out and we can all feel good, you know, and I feel like we got that shit. We got that fucking bottle of Dom Perignon, bruh. You know, we'll put it on the shelf and we're going to get that next bottle, you know, and we'll fucking never drink any of them. I thought about that too. This dude gave me a bottle of liquor. I'm like, damn, this dude might ruin my whole career if I take this bottle out back. But yeah, man, that's, you know, I'm just happy to take one for the team. I'm just happy to be up there in the batter's box on that day, in that moment. And maybe the next day you went to work, Roy, and you had to do something at your work, and you had to like, you had to step up and do something for a few minutes, or you had to take the lead, or you had to be a man the next day. And you just feel good about that, because, you know, every time we man up and every time we do something good, you know, we win one for all of us, bro. And so that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. I'm glad you were there, dude, because that makes it mean something, you know, that we are able to do some of this shit together. But it was nice, you know. It's hard for me to accept, I guess. It's hard for me to accept if somebody's nice. Not nice, but I don't know, man. You guys got me thinking today. But let's hear the rest of your call, man.
And excitement, bro. That shit was just it was unreal, man. It was like watching like my big brother get acknowledged for something, or like one of my best friends. I listen to you all the time at work, like in my shitty little 9 to 5. You helped me get through that shit, so, and I mean, I've been telling everybody, dog, like, yo, Theo's the next fucking big thing, man. That's the next big comedian, man. Like, I know it, dude. I see a lot of things coming for you, and last night, that shit just, like, made it real. I know I was right now. But congratulations, man. That shit was super cool. It was super cool to see. It was super cool to meet you. And I'm just happy for you, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Gang, gang, dude. Right at you right now, man. Gang, gang, bro. Yeah, it makes me feel good that that you think I'm okay. Because it's weird. It's like, if you think I'm okay, then I'll think I'm okay, you know? Like, somehow some of that stuff got a little mixed up, I guess, when I was young. But I'm grateful, dude, and I appreciate it. I'm glad you and your girl have fun, dude. That's, man, it's so funny. Like, I used to get on stage and be so angry all the time, and, like, I just wanted to, like I just wanted to make people, like it used to be much more like I wanted people to, like, look at me like I'm worthwhile, like I'm doing my job. I'm worthwhile, like I'm not worthless, that's what I'm saying. I'm not worthless. But now I get up there and I feel like I just want to do well so that I can make people feel, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to make anybody do anything. I know that I don't have any, I don't know. But I think you calling, whatever it is that you call and say, man, it just make me feel, yeah, man, like I'm doing this because I want you guys to feel good, Like, I love telling stories and, like, I want to make people laugh. One day I want to make people laugh in other countries. I want to make, I just want to make people laugh, because it makes people feel good. The fact that you and your girlfriend came out and had a nice time together, and, like, we didn't have to do anything fucked up and we didn't have to do any drug, like, we just were able to have fun, and I don't care that that I'm the one saying most of the words and you got to do the laugh, and, like, we each got to do our part. Sometimes I don't, it's hard for me to laugh sometimes. So maybe that's why, I took the other side of the net sometimes. And there will come a time where you'll do a job and I'll need, and I'll be there. And I don't know. I'm just fucking happy to be a part of something. Onward. Let's take another call here.
Hey, Theo. My name is Tara, and
what up, Tara?
I'm just sitting here recovering. Had my arm amputated earlier today.
Damn, yeah, your arm amputated? Fuck, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. God, I'm so weird, oddly checked out right. This not checked out, but I'm just fuck.
So I'm sorry if my thoughts can be a little disjointed at times, but I'm
disjointed. You wrote that one, so I just had to. I am like just roasting it. This. I'm sorry. Look, I'm eating these cherries. I gotta get my life together. I am sorry that. Wow, you lost your arm. Your arm is gone. Your arm is gone today. And you feeling somewhat disjointed. Let's hear more about this.
Still coming off the anesthesia.
Well, I'm very sorry you had to have that experience. I can only imagine how scary this is right now. Like, I woke up one time and one of my legs got caught into my shorts somehow. I was sleeping and my foot got caught up in my shorts. So my leg looked like more just like a knee, and I thought something had happened to me. And one time I got extremely high on cocaine and got locked in this house. Not locked in, but just inside, and thought everything was locked because I was, you do enough cocaine and suddenly, like, all the, you just believe that locks are everywhere. And I met a woman. This was off Tinder, and she had lost her legs. I don't know why I'm telling you that stuff. Onward.
And I say my arm, it was actually my hand, and it was just a little bit of the arm. And the reason why I had to do that is because last year I got run over by a train.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear this, and I'm so sorry that I was kind of joking around in the beginning. Man, this is a lot. This is a lot to be run over by a train. Let's hear more.
Because, well, that's sort of a long story. So once that happened, I was like super stoked on life and like getting back to good things, but my arm is just not really worth saving. It was kind of a lost cause. So I'm like,
oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. If I had an extra arm, I would let you have my arm. Or if I even had a small leg, that could do do something cool, you know, or hold stuff, I would let you have that. And I'm sorry that you're having to deal with this, and I appreciate you sharing this moment with us.
Letting that go, and I'm trying to get a prosthetic so I can go back to what I actually have my degree in and learned how to do, which is acupuncture and Chinese medicine. So I just wanted to tell you my story, and I love your show. We were listening to you on the way home from the hospital, and believe it or not, this is an outpatient surgery.
Wow. That's outpatient. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm just learning so much, like, right here in this moment. And I'm sure a lot of the listeners are, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know, you're really, really brave to go in there, you know, and get part of your arm, and not have part of your arm whenever you leave there. You know, I've left a lot of stuff. Like I've left tons of shit different places, but I've never left a place and not had all of me with me. You know, and so that's, you know, I've left just regular stuff that everybody leaves, but I've never left, not been able to have my whole body with me. Onward.
Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.
Oh. Well, I'm so sorry. You know, if you need me to hug somebody for you, let me know, and I'll be your hug hitman. You know, and I'll go out there and I'll hug them. You know, if you feel like, I don't know, you know, if your impairment is going to have you, your hug's not working as well, but I'll be able to hug somebody for you. I'll hug the fuck out of somebody. You want somebody to hug? You want to show up at Christmas and just drop 9 of them in a row across a whole group of family members that come in the door at once? I'll do it. I'll be I'll drop some hugs for you, you know. And I wish if you were here right now, I'd give you a big one. It's really brave of you, and I'm sorry to hear about your experience. And I wonder how this is gonna play out in your life in like a positive way. You know, to go and then want to still help people with herbal medicine and